they'll be back in peak form. So whatever small issues they had last week, low energy, not really being 100% in the server with performance, that should be completely shifted now, and they should now be literally at peak form at the perfect moment.
Yeah, we can see them all in their boot camp as well. Both teams at their boot camps right now. Both teams, almost all in their jerseys as well. It's nice to see, in the Asia region, we don't always get that level of support that you might expect to see in Europe and North America and Latin America. But of course, here in Asia, we've got some big organizations behind these teams. When the Chinese org Weibo entered the scene, it was a big move, of course, acquiring a player or a roster of players from the two best regions. A lot of expectation on their shoulders. So one thing we haven't talked about is that expectation for both of these teams. On the one hand, obviously, Weibo, for a long time, these players have been gunning it at the top echelon of Asia, struggled to make a big splash internationally. I think Bleed probably did the best. I'm going to say it was the Atlanta major. They took some big scalps there, knocked out teams like M80. But on the flip side of that, obviously, Elevate, the organization that's been through more rosters than any other organization in Rainbow Six. They've had a North American team, they've had a Brazilian team. In Brazil, they've had an APAC team. They've actually had both an Asian and Oceanic APAC team. Now they have a Brazilian Asian team playing in APL. A lot of expectation on them, especially as they are a partner team with Ubisoft. They were invited to the kickoff event in Rio. So yeah, high hopes for both of these teams, but of course, there's only one spot for a champion, and the winner of this gets a real shot at that by qualifying for the grand final.
You see double shield ban from Elevate, the Blackbeard and the Monty trying to just stop Weibo from easily accessing the building and the entry paths with those shield operators. Weibo, Mirror, and Castle, of course, trying to play into that border playstyle where defenders don't have many things to play around, but many areas in the map that favors them. By getting rid of either Asami, Castle, or the Mirror, you're gonna just weaken that even further. Elevate, what they do have, they have trap operators. They have ways to stall for time in areas like the Fenrir, the Smoke, the Goyo Fire, the Legion Mine, so trying to weaken the attackers of Weibo. Right now, just holding ankles. Ape finds Ion in break room. Romeo down east stairs, making his offense, looking for a play. Oh, gets shot down. Turret, yep, prime form right there. Gets an easy pick.
Yeah, Psycho's actually retaken CCTV as well. So despite Elevate having a numbers disadvantage, it might flip actually with Reaps. Letting it slip like that, Weibo have suffered and forfeited their advantage. Like I said, Psycho retaking this position does give a lot of ground here to Elevate, but Speakeasy's playing it well, using the Grim, and Turd cuts it off from 90. Very well played there by Weibo to once again get themselves back in front.
Yeah, fun fact, Turd actually owns the 90 hallway from East Stairs. Every game I see from Weibo and Border, he's always walking down, getting 1, 2, 3 kills every single round, and no one can quite stop him. Reeves jumped in the office window earlier, got shut down, kind of a solo play from him, but now it's a 3v2, still favoring Weibo, holding their angles, cutting off the rotations. Naka's stuck inside of Archive's corner. If he crosses, they'll see it. So yeah, he's still going to be stuck.
It really needs to find a pick here. Stemp is trying to support him. Can cover his back. Out come the Grimm's bees. Out comes a drone and a grenade. Oh, the grenade might actually kill him. It does. He had nowhere safe to play. He completely bottled it. Now it's all up to Stemp. Good gun he's got with the Vector, the ACOG. Okay, Turd. Little bit of an unnecessary 1 versus 1 there. Taken by Weibo. Speakeasy and Hoven. Got to figure out how they're going to play this. The most important thing is not to give more 1v1s to Stemp here with the Vector. Oh!
Just isolate. Gets a bit of damage, but not a kill.
EMP goes out. He knows where they're coming from, and they double up both together. He gets the down on Speakeasy. Hoven, a good flash. Now that is what we need to see from Weibo. But Hoven, he's got to lock in here in the 1v1. ARX, not a very big magazine. And Stemp in the opening round, no less. A big 1v3.
Very awkward situation there for Weibo. Not really respecting the 3 versus 1 perhaps. Turret falling early, taking that 1 versus 1. I feel like there are a couple different ways you can problem solve that because, Elevate had the one position that mattered. They control that small box in Armory, which is metal beepers, Armory door, Archive store, and the exterior Archive store. So no one could really clear them. What you can do here in the 3v1, assuming that you have no hard breach, which they didn't, is send one player on armory door. Now he got a backstab going. Now Stem has to turn his body 180 degrees, looking behind him and in front of him. That can create a timing for Weibo where they can get a 2v1. The second option is Archive's window. You rotate a player outside on the window itself, and you can now see that small box door from outside the building and limit Stem's movement and not allow him to play in that safe area behind the half wall. Weibo didn't do either of those things. They kind of just brute forced the door. They walked in first, one by one, then two together, and it didn't really work out. A good early start from Weibo. The fact that they could roam clear, the fact they could get to the building and get to the bomb site, it's a really good sign for Border to come, because that's where most attacking teams will struggle, if anything. So Elevate, they gotta fix that weakness. They gotta hold on better and stronger on the roam themselves.
Well, they do. Now, Border's a little map. So numbers advantage means a lot. Wow, that's a bit of a view. You can see how small this map is just from this overview. And when you get that numbers advantage on Border, it takes about 2 seconds to regroup and make sure that you're actually playing off of your 5v4, 5v3, whatever it is that you've got. So it's great that Weibo did that, and then it's a little bit concerning that they lost the 1v3 by all feeding the same player. Turd got a little bit too excited, I think, after his 3K.
Yeah. Overheated, and what was it that Rob was saying? I don't really listen to him when he speaks. Something about one team not having a lot of respect. That's maybe Weibo, and disrespectful playstyles can be good. Ape just disrespects Psycho, just runs on in, gets the kill. But Turd last round, if he respected his opponents more, maybe he wouldn't make that play.
No, you didn't have that confidence.
Yeah, you do.
Weibo definitely got a bit of a chip on their shoulder, maybe. Especially, you know, Ape and Speakeasy, who previously played on Elevate before the organization decided to dump their Asian roster and import the Brazilians. So a little bit of a grudge game here for those two guys.
Oh, that's unlucky. Injured though, not killed. Is Ape outside? Turd, help me please. Here comes the revive from Speakeasy instead. Turd approaches Armory, where one defender will be. They see him. Pre-fire comes out. Can't confirm the kill though.
Stem.
Oh.
You can't afford to do that, especially when you got the outlines. Wow, Romeo actually jumps all the way outside, finds his kill, gets air jab, and then gets out alive. Unfortunately, he doesn't get back in alive. Now, with Stem finding a 2K, actually, it's brought things back for Elevate. They were looking a bit grim there for a second after the trade came down onto Romeo, but now a 2v2, one player on each team low on HP. Weibo need to play this perfectly.
That's a very even one. Ape and Stem, one bullet from injured or dead. Reeves and Ion, full HP. In this situation, no clear favor. There's no real utility. There's no C4s on the defender. There's no grenades or flashbangs on the attacker side. Weibo gotta just play together right now. Maybe try and get Ape in first to bait for Reeps, the quote-unquote statistically better player. And of course, more health on the health bar. 20 seconds to go. They don't got a ton of time here.
Of course, that lends itself to Elevate. On the side, though, Stemp goes down.
Ooh.
Low HP, and he dies to a single bullet. Ion on a retake. I don't know how Reeps has exposed himself to that. It's Ape on low HP in the post plant. 1v1. He has the better gun. He has that ACOG to fight the narrow angles, and Ion doesn't see him on the first pass. Sees him out of the corner of his eye, and now he knows where he is. A spray with the SMG, but Ape takes him down. And Weibo does not go 2 for 2. No, they finally lock in that round. A little bit sketchy, though. I was worried that history might repeat itself. We might have seen 2 Elevate clutches back to back.
Yeah, Weibo, the only place they can improve right now is just kind of playing more safe in the moments where they are able to. So, for example, that 2 versus 1 at the end before Reeps dies, Ape has like 80% down the diffuser. You know, he's almost there. Reeps doesn't need to hold a very aggressive long angle. You could just play passive. He's up against the SMG-11. You can play like Ape, like crouch walking by the desk and make yourself a very small target. He had 2 smoke grenades in pocket. Small things like that right now is kind of the only area where Weibo are kind of falling behind. But of course, it comes down to Elevate also being extremely clutch in these moments. And that's kind of been the story for Elevate. They have been a very good team of individuals more often than not, where they will clutch, they will get a 2-piece, they'll get a 3-piece, but we're not seeing a ton of trades from them. in that previous round, Weibo gets 2 kills with 2 different people playing together. And then Elevate, what do? Well, Stem gets a 2k himself, and then he falls back. It feels like Weibo right now operating much more of like a machine. 4 people attacking security, they get the opening kill. 3 people attack Armory, they try and take down Stem, but he's successful. Whereas Elevate, they are having individual people fight back against a horde of enemies, it feels like. And that can, of course, make or break these gunfights. How many times can Elevate get 2 kills with one singular player in a position where it should be impossible?
Yeah, you're right. Weibo look more like the team, but Elevate have a lot of star players, and we've actually seen that so far in the league. So far, all of APL Asia, Weibo have 4 clutches between them, Pengu. There are 8 clutches, twice as many for Elevate, and that's before this map started, of course, and we already have 1 clutch here from Elevate. So you can see it in the numbers as well. Elevate, they are a clutch team. Weibo need to be careful, even when they're in those 2v1s, 3v1s, because it's very easy to let them slip between your fingers when you're playing against players like these guys on Elevate.
Here we see it again, 3 people together in custom, smokes going out, Reaps on window side repel. Might just breach this soft wall and try and go for a plan with the smokes and blitz. Bottom east stairs will be a problem most likely here. The issue is, that's the smoke on east stairs, so no plant deny, and he goes down. This could just be a freebie.
And yet, 9 players still alive in the server. Everyone is just waiting. Oh, there's a good swing though. Ion finds 1. He still has his strong position here up on the rafters. He can backstab if that execute attempts to come through here from Speakeasy. And that's why Weibo are not getting ahead of themselves here. They're slowing things right down. They don't want to go for that fast execute.
Yeah. I thought they were going to go for it, but I like this. They're just droning, they're double checking, then they lose the Easters player. Now they got to reposition and again, re-drone once more. The roof drone on the skylight of office gets a lot of information for Weibo. They see fountain, they see office, they see the hatch. And there is a world here where you don't even go for the plant anymore, but Ape finds 1, they're retaking these stairs, they are going to go for bomb site.
Yeah, but their focus here is just continuing to extend this numbers advantage, which is absolutely the right play. They go hunting upstairs, Ape with the pistol as well. Finds Ion, just Naka left, and I think for a brief moment he saw ahead. Turdster, he gave away the first kill in that numbers advantage position in round 1. He needs to make sure not to do the same again. Ape is going to cut him off. Really well played. Very nice execute there from Weibo, and that is... Somebody help Stem, please. Reeves calling out Elevate in the old chat. That really is how you play off your numbers advantage.
That was incredible. I mean, they actually abandoned the blitz downstairs who had diffuser. Now, I kept thinking they're going to hit the bomb site. They're going to hit the bomb site. The east stairs is going to be distraction. No, they abandoned blitz downstairs who's applying that fake pressure saying, hey, I'm the blitz. I have diffuser. You know that. If I'm here and I'm like going into your face, there has to be people behind me, right? No. 3 other attackers are upstairs, attacking east, attacking office, attacking 90 long hallway. It's so well done from Weibo, and it feels like they're everywhere on the map in the server. Every single round so far, win or loss, there has been a Weibo player so far in what we call Narnia, in some irrelevant area for no apparent reason, and they just keep getting these kills, backstepping the players of Elevate. And then Elevate are forced to retake these positions, like they lose the Easters player. Now they gotta walk back into East and take a really hard gunfight to reclaim that area. But then Weibo, because they built the opening kill, because they have numbers advantage typically, they can just send more manpower to then take that space away from them once more. So Weibo doing a great job at moving around the map, taking what's free, and fighting for what's not. It's very simple, it's highly effective, and it feels to me that Elevate are being forced to react to what Weibo are doing instead of being allowed to play their own game, because Weibo aren't playing into what Elevate they want.
Yeah, and I tell you what, this Weibo looks the most of a team than we saw from the previous iterations of these rosters. So, you know, the old Bleed and Team Joel's and the old Elevate that Speakeasy and Ape were a part of. This current Weibo that we're seeing right here on Border is looking more of a unit than any of those previous iterations we've seen before.
Yeah, those small sluggish moments last week surely came down to them being a little bit ill. They look a lot sharper today. Ape, I didn't even realize, is 8-1, by the way. Just kind of out of nowhere.
You also got a pistol kill last
planting,
round.
entrying. Yeah, this guy's everywhere. And he's on drone duty. Hello, Gridlock was standing right there, looking the wrong way, or also on drone. Psycho with a second. That looked like they might have been the freest kill ever for Weibo with a perfect drone bait. But I'm not sure if that was miscommunication or really poor timing from Hoven, but they get punished. And for the first time, Elevate convincing early round start in a 5v3.
Yeah, that's weird. It did look like Hoven was covering him, but not only did he not, he allowed Ape to die, he also immediately after died himself to Psycho, who's in CCTV. So clearly pushed a little bit too hard. Trying to look for a floor bang though. Ooh. Actually does a lot of damage onto Psycho there. Man, the power of yellow pings. I was actually recommended a YouTube short yesterday from some content creator called Pengu, where he was complaining about how powerful yellow pings are. And that's
I'm pointing out why it shouldn't be in the game, okay? Not complaining that it is. Just want to point that out. I probably am complaining too, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. Every time you open your mouth, I feel like you're complaining.
It does happen sometimes. After a long day of ranked where everything goes against me and I die of yellow pings and my teammates have no hands or feet, it gets the worst out in me, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, back in the day, like, when did yellow pings come through? Was it after you stopped playing?
Yeah, I played with yellow pings in Pro Play, I believe. I want to say it got introduced in 2019 or 2020. I'm actually going to research that.
I don't think it was 2019. I think it must have been 2020 because I don't think the you know the Norarengo and the Empire G2.
2020.
Yeah,
it was after SI 2020.
There you go. So just after Space Station beats NIP in Montreal.
Yeah.
And of course, back before we had that, you really had to have specific callouts for every room and every spot in every room. And wow,
I've seen that before.
Almost died to this nade. We saw another player, I'm not sure if it was Naka, die in the first round to that exact same grenade. It's not going to work out this time though for Weibo. It's up to Reaps and he's taken out by Stem. Elevate, by far the most convincing round we've seen for them yet.
When you get that 2-piece early on, it should be easy sailing. I will say Weibo did a great job at attempting to clutch it out with the utility, with the floor bang, with the yellow ping. But yes, Elevate locked that one in nice and comfortably. Yellow pings, you're right. We used to have, I think, a lot more specific callouts, but not only that, I also think we're just better at communicating, period. And something that I see when I play ranked these days, whether it's solo queue with my random teammates or with people that I do know, up and coming tier 2 and tier 3 players, the general level of communication is pretty damn awful these days. And you can't even blame the players because they've been giving a tool that gives them bad practice of communication. On ping, floor bang ping, shoot ping, proning ping, planting ping, droning ping, drone on ping. You don't need to have very good exercise of communication anymore because you now have a tool that simplifies the entire process. So it's a tough one. It's a very strong tool in competitive play to go for floor bangs and to get very accurate information with little to no effort. But it's also a great tool for newcomers and people who don't really have a microphone or are new to the game to have a voice in the server. So it's a very big conflict of, hey, this is great for the game, arguably in these areas, but it's a problem competitively in those areas.
But you know what the flip side of that is actually the best teams in the world will not just say, here on ping, here on ping, here on ping. They'll have to have really detailed callouts, whether it's southeast corner of CCTV, you know, or whether you have a specific word for that corner of CCTV or this common spot or this common spot. You have really specific words, and you can pair that up with the yellow ping in tandem to get the most picture-perfect, accurate call-out and potentially a wall bang or a floor bang or whatever it is that you're going to do.
Oh, for sure. It's one of those, like, the contextualizing the ping makes it a lot stronger. Blitz gonna fly out this window. He thought somebody was gonna be ping close. There isn't. He's far. Gets one. Flash goes out. Second player runs away.
Oh, no, he's dead.
There's a second for backup.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake there. In fact, there was a three-way crossfire, but Reaps lands a nice QE1 tap. Stemp here, a little bit exposed. I didn't realize, but that wall is actually soft. After the chaos subsides, Elevate are left very much wounded. It's just Stemp and Psycho left. And they're both on this top floor where the bomb site's actually downstairs in Ventilation Workshop. And Turd is on the verge of actually breaching into that site from Bathroom.
Just waiting for the call right now. Some joint information, the timing to be aligned. I mean, there's half the round to play. Weibo are in no rush. They've only lost the blitz. Downside right now, there's no smoke grenades on their side. They can't cross the lines. Great shot from Stem, takes down Reach upstairs. And now the plan can't happen because he was covering upstairs. Now Stem retakes it, C4's the floor.
That was a miss.
They're both above. They could just plant armory, maybe.
I don't know how Psycho's found his pick, by the way, but there should be plenty of info here for Weibo. I mean, how are you not aware? How does Turd not know? His teammate has just died through the floor. Another one of his teammates died from a player in Archives. You had the roof above him being shot with a shotgun, and he's completely unaware, crouch walking into sight. A lack of information here for Weibo has led to this 4 versus 2 becoming a 1 versus 2. A yellow ping again, and this one will net Hoven a free kill. The power of yellow pings, right? Now it's up to Psycho.
Yep.
On the dock. As Hoven gets that diffuser back. Now he has grenades, but there's not really a practical way to use them right now. And the shotgun here, the Bailiff secondary for Psycho, opens up another avenue for him. He's heard that case open. Oh, he's going to be able to go for it, surely. And a nice clutch up for Psycho. Elevate again, stealing rounds from Weibo.
Small things being misplayed there, and I think sadly in 2 separate rounds, it's kind of come down to Reeves playing too offensive on the angles. When you're outside the office window holding the Archives hatch, your entire job is to play Overwatch, right? You cannot allow a defender to walk in Archives, look down the hatch, and kill the person planting. The thing is here, you're playing 3 versus 2. There is a world where you can play a little bit more passive top floor if you're Reaps, allow the defender inside of Archives, and maybe even kill the planter, then you kill him, and now it's 2 versus 1, you still got the advantage. The other option is that you jiggle peek the windows so you don't risk dying to a pre-fire. The third option, you have a drone upstairs that you can watch, and then when you see the person entering Archives, you hop off the drone and you take the gunfight. Reaps are stood still holding a passive angle, gets pre-fired by Stem, because Elevate, they understand what Weibo are trying to do. Right here, he's active holding the angle, yes he has a DMR, yes he's gonna stay in G12, but if you get pre-fired and lose that gunfight right there, the round becomes that much more difficult. On the flip side, in the 2v2, I do think a lot could be changed up. Weibo got a gun ventilation, because then it's about the armory verticality. We saw the hatch wasn't open up. Of course, Weibo wouldn't know that yet. But they just kind of stayed instead of workshop with the hatch open, and somehow they had no idea Stimp was right above them, despite him just killing Reap seconds prior. Bit of a rough one.
Oh,
but again, Elevate the show up clutch when they have to.
Yeah, they really do.
It's a nice try.
Yeah, it was, and I don't even know if there was audio there for Romeo, if that was just blind luck. Shooting open that window at the right time, almost gets a kill on Hoven. If he had any other gun, he probably would have, but it was the lack of bullets in the mag for the SMG-11 that made him suffer a little bit there. At least he survives, he gets away. Elevate have a nice setup, bit of presence on the top floor. The last time we saw Weibo attack this bomb site, it was with that blitz, Nick, and it was where they got very close to executing on the site at the start of the round, and then just kept baiting Elevate into throwing bodies and furthering that numbers advantage for themselves.
Oh, out of nowhere, Ion takes down Hoven. He's going to be on the Dokkaebi, of course, so a very high-value pick early on. It's going to further just kind of make this more difficult for Weibo. Finding an entry, getting the building. They don't got a blitz this time either, so Dokkaebi was kind of like their one operator.
Just look at how aggressively Elevate are playing this, though, right? Like, we're peeking outside onto the balcony constantly throughout the round. And Weibo, on the flip side, instead of contesting those positions, instead of trying to play that slow, steady game, they're just, like, full-on lurking. And again, it's over the through customs where they pushed with the blitz last time. No blitz this time around. They have hacked a lot of these cameras and a lot of this util, the proxy alarms, which has allowed them the ability to sneak in through, but they're going to have to worry about Vert sooner or later. They'll have to worry about these Vulcan canisters as well, and they're not taking a lot of ground. They're allowing Elevate to have so much control.
Not sure what the game plan is right now. The win condition, the strat in mind, I don't really see it right now. Time for desperation, go for kills. He whips every single bullet, finally finds it, traded back though from Psycho through the smoke. Reaps in a 1v4. An ugly round for Weibo.
Yeah, very, very ugly. I think a bad call from the get-go, and it wasn't helped by the fact that they were losing players left, right, and center, but Elevate have certainly come back with a vengeance. It's a 4-2 split on the defense On their map pick in the first half, Weibo chose to start on the attack, and they did not do good enough. Now, as we flip into the second, Elevate really do have control, and they're going to need to garner that confidence and refine it into some seriously powerful attacks here.
Normally, there would be a big cause for concern given the side score, but if there's one team that can absolutely pop off on defense on an aggressive map, it is Elevate. But I also think it can be Weibo. So I think both teams here can actually make this a statistically defender-sided map just because they're not afraid to get aggressive and understand the different win conditions. Also, with how close some of those rounds were, it could have been 5-1 Elevate or 4-2 in favor of Weibo. Like, you definitely had both sides of the coin here. Psycho saying respect and thank you, likely due to the glass ban. If you guys recall, if you go long enough back in time, when glass first got reworked and could see through smokes, Psycho was probably the single best glass player in the entire world, and one of the first players to revolutionize how you played the operator in pro play as an entry operator. And back then there was no Maestro, there was no Warden. I don't believe bulletproof cameras were even out in the very beginning of that.
They came out when Maestro came
out. Spraying a smoke. Yeah, okay, so as I recall correctly then, there was no real things you could do on defense. You can toss a smoke, toss a C4, or you go for a crazy spray. Guess what Psycho did? He'd prone the ground and prone in the building if he had to avoid the pre-fire.
The Glaz snake meta, good old days.
Yeah.
And just to comment on what you were talking about before, Pengu, about like, attacker, defensive. So Weibo's the best attacking team in Asia right now. 68% of their attack rounds they've won, pardon me. But they're also the best defense winning team. They're 63% they win on defense. It's just because they're undefeated, right? So they're obviously going to have the best stats. But, I mean, Elevate, for example, are the second best at defense with 60%, but their attack win rate is much lower at 47%. So, look, if anyone is meant to be good at attack, you would think it would be Weibo. So I do think that's not quite good enough for them, but of course, there is time to bounce back on defense here. But I'm really excited for Elevate to see what they're going to bring to the table, especially, you know, absence of that Glaz leaves all the shields in. You know, you've banned the Grim, you've got the Ying still in. In this case, they're actually not going to bring any of that. The unusual pick for me is the Brava.
Yeah. Brava can be kind of nice if you can find the Finria mines default camps, but it's not the highest value. People go soft and no main stairs. Hello? Is anybody here? Yeah, AP swings. It's good for 2. I mean, that's kind of just the round. No, wait, never mind.
What?
Elevate trade back in with 3.
This has been a very chaotic first minute of the round. There's only 3 people left alive. Only 65 seconds have passed. Potentially another kill to bring it back to a 1v1 for Romeo, but it goes begging. Turdster and Reaps are very much separated right now. What is going on with that bulletproof camera?
Is it? Huh?
It's in the Shadow Realm right now, and he can't quite shoot it. We have lots of info. Man, the value that that proxy alarm gave Ape and Weibo. Ape on 11 kills right now. There you go. That BPC will die. There's still another one. Oh, what a shot! Ooh. Turdster, why are you peeking that? That's another chance that Turdster has had to lock down an advantage for Weibo, and he has let it slip. Let's see, Reeves, what you got. You saw his head for a brief second, and now he's trapped in this corner. He's got the automatic weapon for close range, up against the DMR, sprays him down, bit of damage, but he loses it! No, he doesn't! It's a direct trade! And that means Weibo win the round because they were defending. You can see they are not happy about it. The round might be theirs, but still, that was a huge mistake after mistake to let it get as close as it was.
What a ridiculous first round, and we're speaking about the Brava and the literal amount of value that the operator has in the server. What you could really have in big value there if the prox alarm on metal stairs was hacked and destroyed, taken care of, whatever, that probably wouldn't happen. That was a sign for Weibo that, hey, there's danger in this area, let's go for a swing, and Ape found that 2 opening. Elevate answered back with 3 of their own to, you know, make it their round. But then Weibo, to no surprise, they lash out, they keep the aggression, they match them 1-to-1, and they keep just finding kill after kill. This was a nasty shot onto Turd. Boop! Ridiculous. Yeah, active holding angles, peeking in those moments, not necessarily what you should do, but to be completely honest, I don't think Turd expected or thought there was any world where he would die in that angle.
Yeah, well, that was an interesting round. We've traded to a lot of those in this game so far, Pengu. Is this Weibo versus Elevate diff, or is it border diff? I can't really tell.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I do think that this is actually just the nature of Border with two good teams that have to match each other. I'm curious just how crazy Clubhouse will get, and of course Consulate if we get to go the distance. One thing that I've not noticed until now as well is Speakeasy is actually 0-6, so Weibo putting up really good numbers despite not having their 5th player on the scoreboard. Now, he was playing support roles, kind of baiting for Reaps and just being like a person to go in on Blitz in 2 separate rounds and whatnot. He has gotten good value, he's done a good job, but statistically right now, wherever Speakeasy is on the server, Elevate get that for free because he's not shooting back. 0 assists, 0 kills. We gotta get him, you know, warmed up here on the first map and get a couple of kills in, ideally.
Yeah. And he is the leadership figure on this team as well.
Yeah.
But that doesn't excuse having no kills. On the flip side, Stemp, by the way, is absolutely farming. He's even out fragging Ape, who we commented on earlier. Stemp was even called out by Weibo earlier, and you know, he got that big... It was him who got the clutch, if I'm not wrong, in the very first round, the 1v3. He's been a big player here for Elevate. This is actually kind of the same attack that we saw from Weibo, isn't it? Except with the Monty instead of the Blitz.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of it. Middle stairs. Beep boop again. A pre-fire, but Romeo wins this time. Good trade from Weibo though.
Oh, and traded back again. A reinforcement missing, unfortunately. And there was one in pocket. They could have reinforced 90 there. Nonetheless, they do exchange a few more trades. It's just constant back and forth. Like, how on earth do you keep up with this? After the dust settles, it's Psycho v2 on the Dokkaebi as Logic Bomb rings. Turdster's about to find himself in a 1v1. He's lost a lot of critical 1v1s that has caused his team to lose the numbers advantage, and it happens again. Speakeasy, the guy that you called out for being on the donut, is now found himself a breadstick, is looking to make it a double. As the cams get hacked, Psycho has everything he needs except that diffuser.
Do they know where Speakeasy is with the hack cams? That's the big question. He's hiding inside a blue right now. Default cam likely shot. Yeah, it is. They have no idea. Psycho 2 flashbangs and a lot of experience here. Has to make it count.
Speakeasy nerves of steel. Is he going to check this angle? He does! The swing, the shoulder peek, and the re-peek with the SMG-12. There was absolutely no way that Speakeasy stood a chance after that peek. Nice try comes out in chat. Elevate 2 rounds ahead and just 2 rounds from taking the map.
Really gotta see Weibo play more together when it comes to those 2v1s right now. They have had them 3 separate rounds now, or they have had either 3v1 or 2v1 and been unable to play together. I mean, Psycho was the perfect operator for the clutch. He's playing Dokkaebi, had one call in pocket, gave him the info that he needed. But Turd just kind of planted himself in a corner. And normally that's pretty good because they gotta drone it, they gotta check it, whatever. With the phone ringing, he's gonna hear it and you're probably just gonna die to a pre-fire, which is exactly what happened. Elevate, they are playing these rounds like they have no care in the world. And it's very impressive at how accurate and consistently they're doing so. Like, they're getting in and they're getting the trades, and they both times they've actually come out getting more kills than players they've lost. Until then Weibo starts clutching up, and then Elevate wins the round regardless. They love that metal staircase. They will fly up. This time they had a backup though on the break door to get the trade kill. That was massive. Weibo, I do not envy them right now. It must be incredibly difficult to understand what is happening in these rounds on defense because the comms are gonna be, you know, screaming, beat boops going off, you hear barbed wire shuffling, there's attackers seemingly everywhere, not outside the building holding you, right next to you, inside the building, right by the bomb site.
You don't have time to call out, oh, I died from here, because by the time you say that, he's already moved.
Yeah.
By the time you say that, you already need to have traded that kill. This is just a lot of instinct play, a lot of just good refragability and good awareness. Also good audio. Like, you're going to need to be able to hear what's going on. Like I said, Border's a small map. Those proxy alarms are coming into play massively. You're not always going to have someone dead or safe to sit on cameras, despite a lot of cameras, 2 bulletproof cameras in this case being picked. I'll tell you what I like though, Pengu. It's the Legion and the Ella, these traps. It's passive information. This castle as well, which gives you a form of passive information as well, knowing where Elevate can and cannot be, what castle brackets they have destroyed. It's the castle himself who actually finds the big player to take down. It's Stemp. 2 separated kills onto Elevate players. leaves them in a little bit of an awkward spot.
Time to go hunting. Gotta just find some freebies. There might be one. Yep, Speakeasy goes down, and on off screen, Reaps as well from Naka. And all of a sudden, again, from a 5v3 lead, Weibo favored on defense border, down to a 3 versus 3. Psycho low on health. Weibo has bomb site control, but ventilation here, it's not a strong bomb site to cover. It's all about that verticality upstairs. Holding great shot, takes down Naka on the Lion. Iron and Psycho now, 2v3.
There's been a lot of isolated 1v1s. In fact, every single kill has been a 1v1, untraded, with nobody nearby even to take a fight to follow up. Weibo now in the advantage. It's been furthered. It's all up to Ion. With Psycho going down, the Deimos must do it all. They know where he is. Hoven falls back. This is the right move. And this is the key thing here, right? How many times have we seen Weibo forfeit their advantage? It can't be Turdster again, surely not. Finally, he gets the kill. He does actually trade himself back, but a lot of times I'm seeing Turdster in the advantageous position and losing his life when his team is previously in the advantage. He's often the first dominant to fall, so I'm glad that he found that kill. But Elevate, they still have a little bit of headway here. They are still 1 round in the lead.
Okay, Castle ban actually comes out. I was sitting here thinking to myself, what could be a good target ban? I was thinking like Mute or Warden if you want to like force like the Ying or the Blitz or just flashbangs and smokes.
They just want to run in there and have everyone take 1v1s.
They do. They want nothing to stop them from taking gunfights. So Asami, Mira, and Castle, the triple down essentially. Any sort of changing of the walls and lines of sight is completely target banned. And Weibo, they recognize that, right? They're taking out the Grim, the Glass, and the Dokkaebi. All 3 very strong operators to take those gunfights. The only thing you could change here to like really match it is getting like the Blackbeard or the Deimos part potentially here, just because like they're also very strong in the 1v1s. But you're respecting and fearing the utility dump from Elevate, of course, by banning the Grim and the Glass. I think it's a pretty good stuff here from both teams.
Yeah, the Dokkaebi also is just so good for that Elevate play style. We've seen them play it 2 of the 3 rounds so far, but like, you know, if you just hit that logic bomb, everyone from Elevate can walk in, and it's like every player is just a proxy alarm, right? You just have an audio cue for where every player is, so that's absolutely lending itself to their play style. Weibo want to try and restrict that. They don't want Elevate to be able to just forcing out these explosive early rounds. It's funny, actually. Oh, actually. Hold that thought. When I see a Ying with a shotgun, I'm going to hold that thought for a second. What the hell's going on?
Blackbeard Osa, this is screaming Archives take with Ying Armory. The thing is, you can either play for kills or play for a plant. Blackbeard has diffusers out of Armory. The Osa's out of the Archives. Normally Osa would be the planter. They could also just take the Osa shield on Archives door, go for a bait plant, or you can do this, long line of sight all throughout Armory. Then you attack Armory itself with the Ying with the Blackbeard defense walls. And you can basically just go for a straight attack. You can use the sense outside CCTV here and cut off the security door and just run straight past the roaming defenders.
Okay, here comes the sense comes out, locks out that line of sight from CCTV. In goes Romeo, and there is a player waiting for him, but Speakeasy finds the kill regardless. Trades come through from Elevate, and amidst the chaos again, it becomes a 3v1. Ape pushes a little bit too hard, bites off a little bit more than he can shoot, and it becomes a 1v3 for Hoven, who gets a lot of damage onto Naka, but that player does go for the plant regardless. Psycho from the rear side with the Osa, and that is another round on the board for Elevate on the back of this highly energized, highly chaotic playstyle. And guess what? It's put them all the way on map point here for Border.
It's well done from Elevate. It's very clear vision. They had the right operators in the right position, and everyone played their role. The sense went off, the Ying rushed, the Blackbeard goes in. The only thing that could have gone better for them is the simple fact that if Ying had gotten him with the shotgun and killed the Warden to start things off, that round would have gone even smoother. But that doesn't happen. It's kind of like the expected outcome. Ying will go in, probably die. Then the Armory guys outside, they will succeed. They go in the bomb site, the bomb goes down, the round is over. That was the first time where Elevate went for an actual execute. They were playing for map control. They're playing for a rush. They're not just playing simply to get kills. And I think there was a good attempt there from Weibo. They didn't really have a lot of counterplay operators. The big thing here with the Sense rework that happened not that long ago, it's now a projectile wall. It's not a smoke wall anymore. You can't see through it as the Warden. So it's a genius trick. You're basically much having one operator that can see through smokes and flashbangs, and you pick the Sense, which nullifies that, and it enables the rush in a different way. Elevate, they're not shield players, right? Yes, they have the Blackbeard, but it's mostly just to have a shield in front of you to get in safely with the diffuser, not necessarily to use the gadget or the weapon especially. So they just do a good job. Weibo now, they have to be aware of the rush. They gotta be aware of the plant, the execute, gotta be aware of utility, but also the entries. It's a lot of things to keep track of, and it's very hard to counter here if you're defending on border.
Oh, well, they've taken their tactical timeout of Weibo. They've had a chance to talk to Meepy, their head coach, and figure out what the heck is going on. What the heck has been going on, Pengu? I mean, Elevate have just continued to ramp up that pressure. They are all go today. And it works on border. It might not work as well on Clubhouse, but a resounding victory here was certainly set up for a much closer series and potentially a much more Elevate-favored series than I was personally expecting. We know Elevate's good, but Weibo beat them last time they played, and Elevate have been a lot rockier than Weibo. Maybe with the exception of Weibo being a bit sick last week. But yeah, certainly they've been outpaced today. There's no doubt about it. Elevate are looking red hot and ready to go on every single one of these attack rounds.
Cygo's really been ramping up. Individual clutch, now 13 and 5. Playing a lot of different flex roles, whether it's Stalker B or Heart Breaching, Entry or Backstabber. It's funny because it feels like Naka, Romeo, and Ion can just kind of chill. Stamp and Psycho does so much heavy lifting in the kill department. There's the nade.
There's Psycho finding a kill by the way.
Elsewhere.
Temptation as well to go
Reeps
for the ADS here from the Blackbeard. Yeah, Reeps is going big. Oh my god, Reeps! Yeah, go nuclear with that Scorpion, why don't you?
Oh my god, the timing.
Yeah, Ion just missed a player. I think that was Turdster walking into Fountain. Completely sailed past each other. Romeo is still outside the building. Here on the Archives Balk. In goes a Twitch drone. And the thing is, if this was any other game, Pengu had been like, oh, look, that was a good try by Elevate, but it's done. This round is so not over. This round is so not over. I've seen so many clutches from Elevate in this game so far. I've seen so many comebacks from 2vx's. A 2v4, you know, I heard someone once say that like a 4v2 is the most dangerous scoreline to have in Siege, in the man count. Because when you're in a 4v2, you have a false sense of security. But one feed, and that immediately becomes a 3v2, which is very winnable. And then a 2v2, and at that point you're like, guys, we're sweating.
Yeah, we are. The thing is, though, Weibo not looking for a fight. They're playing nice and passive, holding cross. Wait, I say that? Reap stands up. Oh no, he's looking for a fight.
Oh,
Why?
no. Oh,
Here
no.
comes the second. Gets shut down as well. Hoven though finds one elsewhere. Romeo goes down. Iron in a 1v2 against the Mutant and Orcs, both on the bomb site itself. One workshop right next to it.
And this is so winnable for him as well. Another shoulder peek from Speakeasy. Hoven on the long angle.
Ooh.
Saves it for Weibo. It's not quite over yet. But damn, did it look close. Ion made it look very, very good for Elevate. This whole map has been very good for Elevate. A brief moment of heroics from Reeps on that Ella in CCTV. Gets Weibo another chance to push us deeper into this map of border. One more round is all they need, and then we're going all the distance. The only time that these teams have actually played each other in an official was overtime, Pengu. It was during the regular stage, and that took a full 15 rounds. 8-7 that was.
So that's how even a match they might be. One round can separate a win or a loss potentially here. In this case, one round is either overtime or regulation victory.
Yeah. Both teams actually were really good at attack in that particular game as well. Went all the way to overtime with both teams getting 4-2 attack splits on Cafe, no less. And funnily enough, here we are on what is typically an attacker-sided map, and we're seemingly defensive favored.
10 seconds to go.
Reeps is on Ella once more, and I feel like that's his, just go crazy Reeps, right? You got passive utility, you can just place down the traps, you have a good weapon. I say good weapon, which is a crazy statement for Ella, but they did shadow buff it for Siege X's launch. It has less recall than previously, and we see it being played in a lot of different regions now in professional play. also has made a higher pick rate presence in ranked lately.
You're a big
And
fan
last
of it.
round, Reaps went. I am. I think people have forgotten just how strong Illa actually is because the weapon was unplayable for so many years. The Grismod mines are highly effective. You can't see a damn thing. You can't hear a damn thing. It guard breaks any of the shield operators, which are very much in meta. And in a very aggressive match like we're seeing right now against Elevate and Weibo, it's the perfect anti-entry operator. If there's a Griswold mine somewhere, you know you're safe as a defender because if they walk in, it'll get popped and you'll be much favored in that gunfight. And we saw Reaps last round running around getting 3 kills very easily and very quickly. 42 bullets, high fire rate, and a lot less recoil than previously.
Yeah, and impact grenades as well. There was a long time where Ella didn't have that impact grenade. You're only bringing the shield with her. Now she's got that, so she can be a much more aggressive roamer as well. Reaps has one in pocket. Elevate getting closer to pushing in.
Ooh, turd. Gets away, takes a lot of damage. No healing operators being brought so far. We see Elevate playing a lot more together. 3 people on East Stairs, 1 person on Archives Repel, so 4 people in the same portion of the map. With the last attacker downstairs in bathroom, the Bok playing verticality. Turd's gonna play the half ones out of office. He's gonna be in a lot of trouble here. Somehow he's alive for now.
Ooh, this is dangerous. The fire comes out, wow. Iron has just escaped that fire. Continues to hold his angle. 3 players stacked up for Elevate here. At the top of East Stairs, Turdster so tempted to go for a swing. They know exactly where he is. Out comes the E1D. Out comes a flashbang as well, so he ducks his head down. He's covered as well from behind by Hoven, but never mind, because a jump in the window nets Romeo the kill regardless. Romeo is still alive, but the rest of his team are seemingly falling. 50 seconds to play. And they haven't made a lot of headway aside from this ground on East Stairs.
Good hold on there for Weibo, trading bodies. Turd playing the bait game. Now it comes down to Ape's position. Gonna get this kill. He does. He got the first one. Looking for a second. Doesn't confirm it. Psycho's still alive. Looking for a range.
This fire could be good though for Psycho. Ape starts to burn. He goes for a swing and Psycho reads him to perfection. But there's not a lot of time left, and Speakeasy has left Psycho all alone. This man has 15 kills, but he might have to fight the rest of this in overtime. It's a 1v3 as he sees Reaps for a brief second, and he's about to walk dead into a crossfire. He goes down, and Weibo push us the distance. It's another overtime map here in the APL.
And it deserves to go the distance. I mean, both teams are playing so good back and forth. Weibo actually play much more together as a team, having setups, having trades. Elevate, similar story. 4 people in the same area, but they struggle to break that first point of entry. It took them so much time and so much effort to simply kill Turd, who was on 30 health the entire time. When they finally got inside of office, they kept falling apart from the long lines of sight, all the way from break room, from security, and from fountain. Things are gonna swap around though. We're gonna have Elevate go back to playing defense and Weibo going back to playing the attack. So the pace now will shift. You just played 6 rounds on one side, you find your stride, you found your footing, you read out your opponents. Now you gotta remember, what was Elevate doing on defense again, and what do you think they're gonna be bringing out this time instead? Operator bands, of course. Now we see double shield and the Nomad, whereas Weibo got rid of the Fenrir, the Mirror, and the Castle. So not too different for the defending bands. But it does mean Weibo gets, what? The Grim, the Glass, the Ying, the Dokkaebi, all those powerful, very aggressive operators that can go for some quick plays.
Feels like a hell of a long time since we saw Weibo on the attack and Elevate on the defense. I'm trying to remember what that half looked like, and as I look back over my notes, it was really just Weibo getting good advantages and then Elevate stealing them. Elevate absolutely thieving. We had clutch after clutch. Big one from Psycho, even bigger one from Stemp. Of course, that's where those two got the majority of their kills. We also saw a big half from Ape, of course. As we can see, he's been fragging out. He had a lot of 3Ks, a lot of 4Ks. How are they going to handle this, though? If we go back to an armory attack, a nade from Speakeasy that I guess the idea was just to predict that someone was playing aggressively, but doesn't find anything. He's actually going all the way out to be on Overwatch from the Crow's Nest over here. This is not something you see every day.
Interesting. Okay. This is it's giving 2016 vibes right now. People actually played this back in the day, but I'm not sure if they're gonna not attack security at all and make the defender think that he's safe to run around. Oh, he's left the position. Okay, he's gonna go elsewhere. Turret finds Ion very early in this round. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna get shot though.
Ooh.
Psycho always seems to be fishing for another kill. And so he evens things up. Turdston now, that's the hard breach gone. I'm not sure whether Weibo will be missing that. I'm not sure if they intended to use that hard breach, but yeah, I mean, lose your Legion for Ace. That's definitely a worthy trade for the Elevate side.
Just gonna slow down the attack. They're gonna be rotating again. I mean, okay,
Wow,
so Speakeasy started in the tower, then went security, then went east stairs, now into archives. Guys, the smokes, the lion, a fast attack. The issue is there's Goyo cannons that's still in archives, I believe, plus 1 toxic babe, and 2 separate defenders and a 3rd in office.
Yeah.
They're all ready for this, besides Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho's been spotted on this rotation again, though. So they should know at least roughly where he is. And they need to deal with Romero, who's in office. I don't know what that nade was playing at, but it didn't find anything there for... I'm not sure what that was, actually. If it wasn't a nade. Speakeasy hasn't used it. Speakeasy's actually going for the plan right now. The smoke does go down. Naka is going to be able to deny from the below. Surely he shoots, but he doesn't find the kill. And certainly not before the diffuser goes down. A very risky plan for Weibo, and I thought it was doomed to fail, but no, it succeeds. And Elevate have missed their chance at making this an easy round. Now Naka has to go for a jump out. He's been watched. Reaps takes him down with the Glaz. Psycho and Stem, 30 kills between them. These two, they have to try and make this retake happen. But Weibo, they've put them down. They put them in the dirt. It's a 4v0. And from being in such a deficit, Weibo find themselves on map point on border.
I think Speakeasy in that round was simply, you know, he was being allowed freedom for him to think. He was in the tower, not really doing much. He was running around, not really doing much. At least it looks like that. But likely what's happening right there from Weibo is communicating, guys, what can we do here? And Speakeasy cooking up that perfect execute. And they got all the right tools. The glass and window coverage, 2 sets of smoke grenades, and a plant going down. There were 2 things that went wrong for Elevate. One, the single toxic babe they had from Romeo missed the mark. It did not smoke the default plant position. It clipped the archives, a big wall at the desk or whatever, and it didn't really hit the mark. And then Nakia on Melusi shotgun drops downstairs. Shotgun's right next to the planter, not right beneath him. And therefore doesn't find that kill either. And that's how they are victorious there. Very late tactical timeout from Elevate will be called. They need 2 rounds here in a row, or they're gonna go down on their own map.
Yeah, and after being 6-4 up, and let's be honest, like Elevate have been in control of this game. They may be 6-7 down, but this, if you just ask me, like you covered the score, you erased my memory of the score just of each round and how they've played out. You asked me to guess the score or guess who's winning. I'd 100% be saying Elevate, because just vibe check, Elevate have felt in control of this game. I don't know if you agree with that, but it certainly just feels to me like a lot of these rounds, even when Weibo have had the advantage, Elevate have consistently had the confidence and the wherewithal to bring those rounds back. Psycho's been deadly. Stemp, I mean, he's actually fallen off a lot in this second half of this map, but in the first half, he was very deadly.
You say fallen off, but bro is the 3rd top frager in the entire server, so that's how far ahead he was of the curve.
Oh, he was. Like, there was a point where Ape was...
You're not wrong, but...
There was a point where Ape was 8-1, and then he sat on, like, 12 kills for ages, and then he's just fired up in these last couple of rounds. It's a similar story with Stemp, right? Like, he overtook Ape, he sat on, like, 11, 12 kills for a while. He was then overtaken by Psycho, and now he's been overtaken by Ape again as well. Reaps is coming for his heels as well, so yeah, I mean, he's been great, but it's consistency that's the problem for Elevate.
Between these 2 teams, there's been 6 clutches, 2 from Weibo and 4 from Elevate as well, so
that's insane.
This could have been over a long time ago, you know, for either team. If those clutch moments goes in the other direction, or just favors one team single-handedly. But to go back to your point, I do agree with you that Elevate has been in control most of this map, even when they're looking like they're down in numbers or the round is practically over. They always have a good fight in them. And I think a big kudos there goes to Psycho, who's individually really stepped up in this game, 16 and 8, playing flex operators, and of course, leadership-wise, of course, I imagine keeping them in this very much as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's the player that all these guys look up to. I'm sure that a lot of these Elevate guys were just watching Siege.
You grew up watching him.
Yeah, exactly. You grew up watching him as your idol. It means a lot to see him performing on your team, leading the way from the front. Very different to, like, if you've got a player that you used to look up to, but he's like, you know, bottom fragging, you're not finding many kills, and he's telling you what to do, you're like, well, what do you know, old man? You're not winning at all.
No.
You don't look good. You're a little bit washed. Nah, Psycho, he's been playing the game since bloody forever, and he's still in peak form. He's still looking hot. He's leading Elevate forward, but he does need to lock in. The whole team needs to lock in. They're back on the attack. This is where they have struggled, Pengu, by the way. They looked a lot better on their defense than on their attacking side. And there seems to be some form of an execute now from them. Naka moves into the bomb site under cover of smoke and cover of darkness. Reaps goes for a kill.
I think it's free.
And yeah, the Nitro Cell misses. Isle manages to cover him and take down Speakeasy. And now Reaps still trying to push for this kill on the player outside of Passport. Eventually gets it, and that's Psycho going down. But it's probably going to be too late here for Weibo. Iron goes deep. But Romeo finds 2, so it is well and truly over. Iron to find the final kill. We're going to a 15th. Elevate. They might have lost a defense round to Weibo, but they reply in kind.
A simple Monty, walk in the bomb side, hold F and get down that diffuser. Despite the scoreline being 7-7, we have only seen 3 plants with that previous round's conclusion. It has been about the kills, it's been about map control, it's been about clutches. Weibo will go on the attack again as you swap every single round in overtime. This is going to be the final round of Border. So whatever you bring here has to be your very best. We've seen teams play fast, we've seen them play slow, we've seen them very rarely play for a plant attempt. But in overtime, it seems like both teams are trying to go for that, as 2 rounds in a row has been a post-plant victory.
Regulation was very much the defender's game. It was hard to go for these attacks. The attacks that were won were very chaotic, especially from the Elevate side. I mean, every now and then you see an execute-based attack work out. Of course, you remember that Archives execute we saw from Elevate. But here in OT, it's really been credit to the attacks. They've come through. Both teams have found them. Now Weibo has to find it again. And my question is, are they going to do something slow? Are they going to do something fast but chaotic, or is it going to be plant-centric? And as you said, the plant-centric attacks have been the ones that have been far more successful. Elevate on their defense in this game have wanted to keep that fight going to Weibo. They don't want to let it become a 4v4 or a 5v5 in the late round. Elevate want both teams bloodied. They want 30-40 seconds left on the clock in 2v2s, and then they want players like Psycho and Stemp to clutch up.
Of course, early round, gotta drone, gotta play it safe. We know Elevate on defense, they love swinging out those windows, jump out the windows and doors, looking for kills, getting aggressive, but when you get into these deep 7-7 matches, often that will change, because Elevate cannot afford to risk that play any longer, because if they were to die, you know, that could very well be the round with that. Romeo instead with a C4 in hand, Kai Claw being brought out for wall deny, that's the first time we've seen that so far. And no real way for Weibo to respond. I mean, they have a single grenade on turret and Speakeasy. That's really it. So hard breaching might become very difficult. C4 goes out, it clips the wall, it doesn't go anywhere. Bit of a missed opportunity.
We've seen too many of those C4s in this game, by the way. Yeah. You've got the outlines on it. It's not that hard.
You'd think that.
Out goes the logic bomb.
The smoke, the push.
Yeah, what's Reaps going to be able to achieve with it? Oh, it sees the Warden for a second, but guess what? That's Warden. That's the one player that you can't be fighting. A Frostmat does make things a little bit slower here for Weibo. Nitro goes out as well, doesn't claim a kill. Turdster on the forefront of this attack. Romeo is in a critical position. He's got such a good crossfire with Naka here as well. It's hard to go for a Glaz execute when you're worrying about this Warden, but Turdster finds the angle onto an overzealous Romeo. Swinging ill-advisedly from Fountain, he loses his life, and it comes down to Naka here on Archives.
No more smokes, unfortunately, but 2 flashbangs in pocket. A plant attempt, but not entirely sure. That Kai Claw The walls being locked in and reinforced is really paying off. No summons to speak of either. Weibo and Speakeasy, they gotta really problem solve the situation because I don't see an easy way in. They might need to force it, win a couple of gunfights, and then try and see what happens next.
That's the nade we needed. Rips gets down from a long angle from Stemp, seemingly. Meanwhile, Ape, he's just actually seen Psycho on his screen.
Player.
He saw Psycho and he didn't shoot. I think he mustn't have registered that was a player. He gets the double kill regardless. But now he makes it a 1v2. And he can't find the final 2 kills. Ape devoid of the 20 bomb as Elevate steal the victory. It's an overtime 8-7, but the Brazilians have won the first map.
It's a ridiculous final round. Weibo goes in for a fast take. There's a warden that counters the glass. There's a frostbite beneath the window, entering the Togepi. Ape did, I assume here, it was a well thought out, triggered discipline play where he saw both players in security, goes in deep, gets the second, but it wasn't enough. We have to see who comes out on top in Clubhouse, the second map.
Yeah, the Kings of the Clutch are Elevate and they've won the first map. A tooth and nail battle. Of course, Clubhouse is our next arena. That'll be up after this.
You know how they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
tree, honey. Let me spill the tea on all these haters all love me. Broke up all the killing it, winning attitude. 당당하게 올라가, see my altitude. 나랑 맞서 싸우면, baby, you would lose. If I wasn't me, I get it, I would hit me too. I can do it better, I can do it faster. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. I can go much longer, I am so much stronger. 내리에 스며들게 아침엔 야구르지 매일매일 일어나서 부터 보는 거지 Look in the mirror say you're a winner 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. In a bad mood 바꿔버려 in a hurry 꿀꿀한 기분 털어버려 I don't worry Get through the weather feeling get better 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
Banger after banger, tell them Tina Mina do it better. Banger after banger, tell me who could even do that better. Banger after banger, banger after banger, banger after banger, banger after banger. Tina Mina do it better. Who could even do this better?
I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
Banger after banger, banger after banger, banger after banger.
주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
I had a feeling, why am I not surprised? Shattered the ceiling, the glass in my eyes. I'm turning gold, why you so cold to me? Some of the words get harder to find. Swallow my feelings, they don't sit quite right. I'm like, what's the point? You disappoint me. Only showing up when it's convenient. Why is no one here to save me? Moving pieces across the board like it's a game. Oh, what a way to frame me. I know I shouldn't care, but I'm over being you. And maybe it's all in my head, 'cause it's time for something new. I'm not even famous, but all you blaming on some lame excuse. And maybe it's all in my head, 'cause it's time for something new. I needed new friends when you didn't show. Poured out my heart while you say oh. And I tell you something, it broke my confidence. When these thoughts are toxic, it's darkness. Only showing up when it's convenient. Why is no one here to save me?
Well, Elevate might have just gotten away with map number 1, but it wasn't without a serious fight. Very much a back and forth map, and well, Weibo could not get it across the line on border. We now go over to Clubhouse, which is Weibo's map pick, and after that 8-7, Elevate will hopefully have enough to keep on fighting here. It's only going to get harder from here on out for them. Pengu, we said that if Elevate were going to win the series, it was going to be Elevate taking border. They've done that.
Yeah, they are in a very good position right now, and they should be very happy with how they performed on that map. The concern still lies here for Clubhouse, so like the whole aspect of Elevate winning out on border kind of spoke to us saying, okay, we gotta go to the third map decider, and that's where Elevate can be victorious, because there just wasn't a logical way where we see Elevate, or where I don't see Elevate winning out on Clubhouse. Due to the nature of how Elevate are playing, their strategy, their playstyle, I don't see this map really playing into that all that effectively, whereas Border, very much does. So, of course, they can show up massively, they can do some clutch moments, some clutch rounds, and they can, of course, change that. However, Weibo, strategically sound, right? We saw them problem solve time and time again on Border. Speakeasy doing a great job, and this time, there's a big switch up. Elevate have gone for double Heartbreacher ban, leaving all the shields open, something that they banned previously. And Weibo, they're being very smart about this. They are saying, okay, you're gonna ban the Heartbreachers, we're gonna ban the Wall Deniers and the Kite and the Bandit. That means the Speakeasy now can play the Munty and do really high level IGLing as you'll be safe behind the shield. And just trying to coordinate, hey, which walls do we open and in what order? And when you play the Monty, you can also bring the secondary can openers, as secondary heart destruction. So you think that the Ace Thermite ban is going to have a massive impact, but I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't. Hibana and 4 can openers will do the same, if not more, heart destruction than playing Ace or Thermite in this lineup.
Yeah, it's the beauty of Clubhouse. There's 100 different ways that you can play the hard breach game. But of course...
101.
101. Wow. All right. My bad.
Yeah, it's the 101, right?
Yeah, true. But yeah, I mean, obviously things change a lot when you change the bans. Well, yeah, a lot of tin can openers and the Hibana.
He plays the Magnum. I forgot about this.
Yeah, that's really weird.
The only player in the world who plays Magnum on Monty.
Turd's actually going to find a very early kill. And guess what? If you're going to kill any player, I reckon it's probably the Azami you want to take down. Either that or the Clash. Azami obviously generating her Kivas throughout the round. She's really powerful in the late round. I'm not sure if that was a Nitro cell. It couldn't have been. Somehow Turd
couldn't have been.
Didn't see how that happened.
I didn't either. It seemed like an explosion.
Was he near a breaching
And there's
charge?
no...
Ape has
It
a
could have
breaching
been
charge.
It could have been a breaching charge, actually.
I think that might have been it.
That'd be funny, though.
Oh yeah, he would have walked past when the detonation was on the hallway from bar
Yeah,
into the hallway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
that would make sense. Thankfully, he's alive, because right here, breaching that mirror window is going to be very important. C4 response, maybe. Here from Stemp, waiting for the right moment. It goes out. Finds nothing. Nice attempt, though. Weibo, because they have the Monty, and there's no C4 now, the only plant deny is the Goyo canisters, which can all be shot vertically or destroyed by the remaining Ash Breach. So I do feel like Weibo here, in a very stable round, can just go for a default plant attempt here. With or without dirt, they can drop the kitchen hatch and look for a play. The only real counter right now is going to be Psycho on the Clash, who, if he positions correctly and gets information for his team, could become a problem.
That's the thing. He can play in that usually unplayable position here back at AKs that you usually want that Azami for. Flashes will make his job a lot more difficult, though. He can call that the players have dropped the hatch, and now he can put the shield down and go for a peek, but he's covered off from the player up above. That's Reaps finding his first, and Speakeasy to confirm that plant down. Naka goes to replace the Clash's position, playing off of the shield. It's just Turd and Reaps, though, remaining as the Monty fell, and Stem finds his kill vertically onto Turd, leaving it all up to Reaps, who fails to hold the posts. A trade means that Elevate are going to get this clutch, and a big retake on the first round.
Oh, man. It didn't look like that was going to be winnable, but they do it. The Clash Shield being put down right before Psycho actually goes down was huge. He grants a cover for the Goyo, who's inside a third, to get a playable position. They flank the main slayers, they do it well. I think Weibo, strategically, they're so good, but there are these tiny, small individual moments where they could probably play it a little bit safer. The way that they choose to challenge the main staircase, right? Turret with 20 health right here. White swings it. Dies. They didn't have the correct vertical destruction on the staircase itself, where they can watch that from a better angle. And then the second you're in a 1v3, I mean, 2 guys are sprinting up the main staircase, 3rd guy's gonna be diffusing downstairs. You're putting the team in a very bad spot. Sometimes Weibo, what they gotta do is just calm their nerves and just try and play a little bit more passive and let the timer do the work in the post plant. They don't have to go for those kills. They don't gotta seek them out. They didn't have to stress, but I felt like Turret was definitely stressing a bit too much there.
10 seconds left.
Turd's been such a prominent fragger for Weibo and, of course, for the old Bleed and Team Joel roster. He had this funny moment where he was kind of like temporarily dropped and then picked up again.
Oh, I remember that.
They trialed for his spot, but he was better than all the trials, so he retained it, which was great. Good for him. But yeah, I don't want to rag on the guy, but I did feel like on the first map, I said his name a lot. By the way, Reap's going down first. That's not good. Not a good look at all. Yeah, I said his name a lot because there were a lot of situations where Weibo were in the advantage, like, 3v1s, 4v2s, whatever, and then Turd is like dying early, taking a 1v1. Like, it's just the first step. What did you say the other day? In a 1v5, the first 2 players have permission to kind of feed. But once it's a 1v3, everyone has to lock in. I kind of felt like that was a few too many libbies were taken on Border in the numbers advantages when it wasn't in a 1v5, but like a 1v3. You can't really be going for that feed. When it's like a 2v4, you can't be going for that feed.
It's a good point by you, because it is true. I actually, thinking back now as well, that definitely happened a fair bit on Border. And criticism, of course, being fairly justified there. A bit dangerous Papa Stemp here, though. Playing on these small steps inside of Garage. Soft walls. Blue window.
Yeah. That said, of course, losing Reaps early does limit the amount of soft breach you've got available. I assume he had the shotgun secondary, and that would have been one of the main ways that they were going to be opening up these soft walls at the bottom of Garage. Okay, good info on Ion. Likely because Reaps was dead, he was watching one of the cameras placed in lobby. Stemp is now going to escape. He does have support of Romeo as well on the rafters, who keyed up that doorway to make sure that there was a safe passage out of Garage. The Weibo have now taken control below the bomb site. What's the next step for them?
Question is whether or not they attack Catwalk Rafters right now. They've gotten the Biome Trigger in the exterior walls. That's soft. It can be demounted, open up. The issue with Catwalk Rafters is that they have like 3 Jaeger ADSs here. So Capital won't necessarily work.
Oh, well, the flash still
They're gonna
lands.
flash it. They're gonna think it's clear, but the ADS of 5 left, you see it here. They're all on the left-hand side. So he's baiting the flashbang to the right side. If he moves left, it will be caught.
Yeah, I mean, that works unless you just get domed, apparently. And this air jab actually could be pretty solid here. It might knock Stemp back down. Indeed, it does. However, thankfully for him, he was safe regardless. 2 players here just watching. They need to try and win this fight. Oh, no, the timing is off for Speakeasy, and Psycho finds them both. Elevate locking down the rafters. And their second round of defense.
Weibo unable to get inside the building, really. When they finally do, it's numbers disadvantage. They got utility against them. They got cameras looking at them. The crossfire established from elevates. And it comes down to a lack of problem solving. I don't know if they figured out there was a Jaeger and the ADS is on Catwalk Rafters. But typically when you see that kind of setup and you only have a little bit of, util burn, often teams will just go connector, reach the cash wall, and go for a backside execute. Weibo fully committed, and it wasn't pretty. And it took them a long time to get there, right? We saw Stemp earlier on Castle playing downstairs between Lounge and bottom Garage, staying alive for way too long. Now Elevate will just go through the bomb site rotations. Downstairs, CC, now onto Gym. And if they're victorious here, they get a full perfect bomb site rotation, which on Clubhouse, it's a scary, scary thing. It has 4 playable bomb sites. I know we don't see Bar all that often, but I generally do think it's very playable, especially when you get another operator band in the mix to kind of like make it even stronger. But Elevate, they got their tricks.
I feel like we casted that bar bomb site a couple of times in this stage, and I can only think of maybe one round it was won by defense. But you do have to play it perfectly. It often comes down to a late round retake, time slipping through. But regardless, we're here on Gym for now, and this often hedges around how teams go taking the cash side of the map, and then how they flip that into the second phase of the round, which is actually executing onto the bomb site. Right now we're in phase 1. Weibo are looking over at Cash CCTV and figuring out, well, how are we going to deal with this? Little do they know there is a clash waiting for them.
Oh, good old Psycho with the clash. The first step, as you said, Cash. What's the response? Well, the clash is playing top red. You got the Asami Keeper barriers. You got the mute jammers on the interior wall. Here comes the X-Kairos, but there is no secondary EMPs, and they haven't used the Kali Lance on Speakeasy. That lance would be used to destroy the mute jammer, then you use the X-Kyro pellets, because right now, if Speakeasy were to use it, he'll destroy his teammate's X-Kyros first.
Oh.
C4 goes out. I think a single pellet is blowing up, actually. Oh yeah, a single
Actually
one.
might enable an angle here. Up8 needs to be careful not to be exposed here to Ion. Oh, but no, he flips it the other way around. He used it to take control. And Cash has fallen here. It's all up to Naka in a 1 versus 4. Only Turd has fallen here for Weibo. With half a round remaining, it's going to be an easy conversion. Their first round on the board, finally. And yet, look at how slowly they play it. They're not rushing things. They're not overextending. They're playing it slow and steady, making sure that if they lose a body, they do get that trade. They know exactly where he is. Everyone jumps in at the same time, and Weibo out-frag. Poor Naka on the bomb site. Finally, the first round is on the board for Weibo.
Not entirely sure what happened there. So much killing, utility, pushing, everything all at the same time. Weibo, they full commit. They get rewarded. That single Sky Repeller that ended up opening up this cash wall actually got them a kill as well. On top of that, Clash Band coming out, and then triple Heartbreach taking the Hibana out of action. So now it's Maverick and Can Openers for the attacking lineup. What they will do is, of course, it will, in a way, the attackers operator lineup will get stretched kind of thin, because now they need an operator with EMPs, they need Can Openers, yada 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 yada. But there are some very powerful operators that can bring this utility. The Ying, the Grim, the Monty, for example, they all have the secondary hard destructing gadget. They also, most of them, the Monty and the Grim, have EMPs, secondary EMPs. Then you have Striker, the new recruit rework operator that can bring 2 of any secondary utility, so EMPs and Can Opener, flashbangs and grenades, and any sort of combination. What you're giving Weibo right now is the ability to pick very strong primary gadget operators who also happens to have hard destruction. That's the only reason why I think triple Heartbreach is kind of iffy in Siege, because you're not actually weakening the attackers. In a way, you're actually making them stronger because they can pick really powerful gadgets. Unless you can deal with those gadgets, of course.
Yeah, quite a meta that we're in now. You can ban 3 Heartbreaches and be like, yeah, actually, no, we'll be fine. We got enough Can Openers to get the job done. Hopefully Elevate have an idea here. And I can only assume it's to impact check the kitchen hatch, because that's the big value of the Hibana here, right? Like
that is true.
You've only got your 4 tin can openers, and there's obviously 3 hatches and potentially some off-site Heartbreach you might want to use. And we've got 3 impacts remaining here for Elevate. The holes have been opened, as you can see in the pip in the top right-hand corner. Holes have been opened to go for that impact trick. Last time around, though, it wasn't even the roam that was successful here for Elevate, but no, it was actually the retake on the bomb site, as we see the first of these tin can openers used. And the Scopos inactive shell dispatched with quite quickly. Oh, that's... yeah, that is not good. So critical that is, because that's your 2 Heartbreach charges, by the way. Only 1 left, by the way.
Disaster.
This feels like year 1 we just lost our Thermite.
At least Strikers there has 1 spare in pocket, but very limited hard destruction, no demo strikers, down a player.
This gets impacted.
I mean, Elevator playing this very cheeky.
I mean, if this gets impacted, it's GR, surely. Reload. Okay, it does breach, but still, I mean, that's your only hard breach for the whole round.
It's a tough one. I love the roam game from Elevate, like the fake roam with the Scopus shield, the Capgun traps. It adds like another layer to this defensive setup. Not just hard turtling downstairs. They're applying pressure and presence on the map. Weibo, it's time for plan B. Go crazy. Don't call. Go for gunfights. Ape goes down. The one-way keeper, kind of. Ouch.
I don't know how he found that angle, but at least something comes up for Weibo. Elevate lose their first player. It's Naka. Trapped by that grenade, by the Blackbeard pushing him away. This is still not going to work here for Weibo. Elevate have such a good setup. They can forfeit control of Armory. It doesn't really matter. They don't need a player playing at the AKs. It's going to be a nigh impossible plant position for poor Reaps.
Gotta make it happen, though. 1 grenade in pocket, 3 flashbangs. You gotta make it count. 20 seconds to go.
Oh, wow.
They're rotating to kitchen hatch with 2 players. Oh, they gotta double drop this, or at the very least, 1 guy has to get down that hatch.
Needs to be a big nade coming through from Speakeasy. He sends it over. Ion finds 1. Everybody from Weibo falls. Psycho snuck back into deep Armory through the hallway. And easy as you like. Elevate, lock down the basement for a second time.
Well, Elevate surely are showing up strategically. They are playing these rounds very well. They understand their win conditions. They got the plan thought out very well ahead of them, it looks like. Weibo will call it a tactical timeout because I think right now they recognize they are not getting in early. They're not getting to execute. I'm not sure if that's an issue with the triple heartbeat ban or just like the early stage of the round or miscommunication, but they need to stabilize themselves because what they did on Border so well was getting opening pick and progressing the map. Right now, they're losing opening pick very often, and then they can progress the map very quickly, and they're forced into a very bad last second execute, backs against the wall. Yeah. So Elevate, they just have their number.
And that round just passed was probably the worst one yet there for Weibo. I mean, falling to little mistakes like the cap can, despite you droning out everything so thoroughly to figure out about this Scopus, then you're tunnel visioning and dying to cap can traps, losing 2 hard breach charges to those cap can traps. Not really, I mean, to be fair, it's pretty impossible to come back from that position anyway. Like that 4v5, once you've got that hatch open, even losing that player in oil pit, there's not a lot you can do to win that 3v5. But regardless, Weibo, they need to have some more inspiration here. Of course, basement is locked. Don't have to worry about that bomb site anymore for the rest of this half. Elevate turned back to CCTV cash. This was also a dominant win for them. That Rafters hold was dead solid.
Yeah.
It was actually Psycho on, I thought he was on Wamai last time around. He was so valuable. It was so hard to flush him out of his position. The ADSs and the Wamai in combo made it very difficult for Weibo to try and push Rafters, but they insisted on it regardless. So we need that tactical timeout to be the marker of the start of inspiration for Weibo, because Elevate have begun running away with not only this map, Pengu, but also the series.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit worried. I really am. When you have a very effortless first half on Clubhouse, the issue is you don't need to change much on the second go at it. Weibo were the ones that have to figure out the problems. When they've been locked out as much as they have, they can face the exact same setup from Elevate. There's no reason to change that too much up. So they do the same thing. ADSs or my discs. Weibo, I said last time, when you see that kind of heavy catwalk setup, you should go master bedroom connector and go for a back bomb site execute. Right now, very much looks like they will be. Got Ion in the roam. The support of Psycho inside of office. Gonna try and stall for a bit of time, kill a couple of drones before falling back, surely. It's very hard to roam here. That's the big thing. Also, is that every single piece of hard destruction used? It is.
Wow.
If the one on site is reinforced, they can't breach it. That's kind of what I'm worried about right now.
Yeah, which kind of means that you would typically have to go for a Rafters take, and they're not looking like they're going for a Rafters take, but the early kill comes through in favor of Ape. Psycho almost found one, but he didn't. Amidst the chaos, again...
The spare reinforcement.
Yeah, Elevate are just fighting tooth and nail to bring this on back. Hoven and Speakeasy have both gone down. Turd and Ape are very much lit. It's the Blackbeard who's fallen, by the way. And the Grim, who also would be really nice if you do pivot to a late round Rafters take. This is not a good round here for Weibo yet again.
Elevate with a small miss though. They have a spare reinforcement. The single wall and connector is soft and can be opened up by Sophia or Flores or Deimos, so that's not really going to be a problem. It's been opened up by Flores just now, yeah. Had that been reinforced with that spare reinforcement though, there was no way in. They spent every single can opener elsewhere. Of course, Elevate might not know that. It's a 3-on-3, still hard to plan because Blackbeard died, but there are 2 grenades in the pocket of Turret on the Deimos. They have to find some value. Yellow ping doesn't find the kill though.
Upper needs to be careful because he is lit. That was very valuable though. It was a good idea. Oh, what are you doing? Stemp is just in the middle of sight.
Days.
He finds a kill on the off angle. Though Turd finds Ion. Still, these 2 Weibo players are very low on HP and Stemp. That's such a good map 1. Turd knows where he is, thanks to the death mark. Now subsides, and he finds the kill regardless. A 2v1, but so clutchable here for Naka. He's watching the perfect angle, and both of his adversaries are very low on HP. However, he's completely oblivious to the fact that Ape is outside his window. And Weibo really needed that round, and they got it.
Impressive one as well. It did not look easy. Elevate actually making a couple of mistakes. Swinging the angle on top red. Players falling down. They're getting killed by Turd. Without using much utility. I feel like you just let Weibo go for a plant there because you got catwalk rafters, you got top right control, you got the server. You're chilling. Elevate, maybe too willing to fight in that round. And of course, I'm going to go back to my previous point. They did not reinforce the bombs at wall. Somebody either forgot to do it or they just had a spare for funsies. Weibo, though, had to fight tooth and nail from the very beginning to just only scrape by and win that round. They gotta get us a more convincing attack and victory here and try and even that score to 3-3.
It's funny, I feel like, yeah, you often see hard breach bans on Clubhouse. Rarely do you see the triple hard breach bans. Keep in mind, like, Maverick is open, so they could be going for Mav here if they wanted to fully breach things. I mean, it matters less on the basement, but, you know, for CCTV, you could just top and bottom CCTV, bring a spare set of can openers, instead of using, like, one operator, put 2 can openers on the main wall. I don't know. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's again about stretching yourself thin, right? Because right now in this lineup, who would you replace with the Maverick? You have EMPs on Monty, you have Cannabis on Grim and Striker, which are both strong operators. You could do it, but I also think because you have the Kite and Bandit band, you only gotta worry about the mute, which to be honest, Elevate are not bothering to bring most of these rounds because it's, again, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Wall will get open regardless. Yeah, they can slow it down here, but they won't get much else than just time deny. Which again, if Weibo are being slow in these rounds, that can be beneficial. But the value here isn't necessarily all that great.
I mean, it might be. It depends if it allows them to hold on to this whole area for a bit longer. They're going to fall back. The final Zodo goes out, freezes up that wall for a little bit longer. It just forces Elevate to basically sit there and wait. But they've been smart. They've decided to take control of Rafters instead. And thankfully, with the double shield operators, it allows them to do that without too much of a risk. The breach has finally gone out, but they've gained control because of these shields. So actually, that's quite well played from Weibo.
Didn't have anybody on the window though. Couldn't catch any defenders falling back. But I think you're happy with a 5-5. No one died. You got map control. You got your shield operators. The question is, what do they envision for this round? Whenever I see a mirror on the board, I'm always thinking, take office control. Take office control. Then you gotta worry about a C4 downstairs in kitchen. So either you play windows against the frost. That could be kind of tricky.
They can shoot them off,
or you go office and you worry about the C4. Yeah, and you should know. A nade going out destroys the deployable shield. They could try and plan the match first, but then again, C4s are deadly. One goes out, takes on turd.
Yeah, that's the Blackbeard going down, but there is a trade. I don't know how. A big flank, it seems, through Con? What's going on? Psycho left to his own devices on the other side of the map, and he single-handedly backstabs the team. Meanwhile, the rest of Elevate come to life, and Weibo fall flat on their faces. It's a pretty dominant half. All things considered, Elevate will be happy that they've walked away with the 4-2.
The switch up, right? Elevate have been playing very passive the last, well, I say very passive. For Elevate style, it's been quite passive the last 2 or 3 defensive rounds. Then the very end, they switch it up. They push forward the C4, they flank Garrus at the same time, and they just lash out before Weibo gets to get the 5 versus 5 execute that they actually desired. Why you bait every round? Wait, who did he ask?
Reaps.
Who's that directed towards? Reaps. Oh. It's Reaps.
Yeah.
Bandicide, Ace Hibana. Oh, it's Mirror actually, okay.
So they're actually not going to get rid of the Thermite, at least not potentially till the 3rd ban. Maybe they want to impact trick basement. It's the only reason I could think of that you would particularly want to get rid of the Hibana.
I quite like the Thermite ban over either Hibana. I think Thermite Hibana personally is the highest value. Just thinking here, when you put the mute jammers on the upstairs walls, you can Thermite repel and get rid of them, right? You can circumvent the whole thing just by Thermite repelling. And then Hibana is obviously the highest value for hatches, which is like most bombs up, but basement especially. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting call. Yeah, obviously the thing about the Thermite is you only have the 2 charges, so you can get 2 hatches. You know, Ace, you can only get 1.5 hatches. Kavani, you get most hatches. Obviously, Ace,
every hatch.
yeah, with Ace, you can only get like one walkable hole, or 3 crouch/vaultable holes. With Hibana, you can actually get like a lot of walkable holes if you Hibana trick and then bring something else like a Buck or a Zove to assist. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wow, that was a very early Gon 6 to take down that castle barricade. I think Ape might have got a little bit of a fright when that happened. It is going to be the
Bit of jump
Thermite
scare. Woo.
on Psycho. And there's 2 sets of tin can openers. So this is the difference. Like, Elevate are actually bringing just a lot more hard breach in general.
I like it though. The worst way to lose a round or to feel like you don't have an easy way to win it is by having not enough hard destruction. So rather get too much and one guy dies early, you got a backup spare.
Yeah.
They got a lot of different util, right? They got Nomad, which can deal with the Clash. They got the Capital, can do the same thing. They can fire off the AK's position, the blue box position. I would say Elevate have all the right tools with the exception of they don't have a true soft breaching operator, no Bog, no Ram, no Sledge, but they have a Flores, which can do a similar job. And they have secondary soft breaching on the Nomad, so that can definitely do it as well. And they have no easy way to plant right now. What I mean by that is getting down the damn hatch.
Yeah.
If they flash the entire bomb site and Warden doesn't watch the hatch, sure they can drop. But other than that, they don't have a shield or any real coverage right now. And there will be that 5-5 execute because there's no roam from Weibo. They want to play for plant deny. They got the Clash, they got the Toxic Babes, and they got the C4.
Yeah, and a lot of ways to sneak back into the site as well. Now we see the Rotero from the Flores has taken down the castle barricade at the bottom of main stairs. That's going to create this power position for Romeo to play. He goes back up again, actually. Yeah, it's going to be hard to play at the bottom of main stairs when you've got the Clash here. A Nitro Cell on Hoven, but I don't think he's in position to potentially... Yeah, he's nowhere nearby to go for that Nitro. The Clash could potentially act as a little bit of a mirror window, but meanwhile, we've got Naka coming down on the Ying. Oh, he almost finds Reaps. Very low on HP is poor Reaps, as Naka is locked out of the site thanks to the gas. Meanwhile, Speakeasy has held down the fort on the other side of the bomb site, leaving Elevate with just these 2 players focusing up on Church. Naka eventually puts that smoke to rest. A flashbang to go out. Another Candela perhaps, just rolling on through. But the Clash is just sitting there behind the shield. It's Turdster. He doesn't have to do anything as of yet. His teammate is watching and helping and covering him, and he's actually taken down Naka's only teammate. It's a 1v whatever, it doesn't matter. Elevate do fall. And, well, a bit of an uninspired first attack for the Brazilians. Gives Weibo a pretty comfortable round.
That's the issue, not having a shield or a sense or an OSA, like anything that can help you get in the bomb site is they're going to be watching those long lines of sight. They got the Clash, they got blue control. Elevate, when they're going to be attacking against these operator bands, they have to either take a lot of map control and attack from a lot of different positions, so like dirt, blue, kitchen hatch, and church kind of all at the same time and try and find a gap somewhere. Or you got to full commit to one singular point of contact and just pick that apart flawlessly. They kind of went for a little bit of church, a little bit of vert, a little bit of everything, but not at the same time. That's the big thing. By the time the first Yinkadilla went off, there were only 2 attackers left in the server. Ideally, those Yinkadillas go down in that 5v5, you push with them, you gain the advantage, and then a lot of stuff happens in the server. And of course, missing out on killing the smoke in the gunfight, putting him down to a single point of HP basically, could also be round defining, because that stalled things out even further for the attackers. Speakeasy hit the Clash inside the bathtub or bathroom stall the entirety of the prep phase, so Elevate shouldn't really know about it. They still bring out the Nomad, I guess, just in case. And they brought the Maverick. They heard your prayers, James. They said, you know what, James, that's a good point. Instead of bringing can openers and EMPs and all these things, let's just play Maverick.
Well, it makes a bit more sense for Elevate considering that the Bandit wasn't banned. Whereas when Weibo were on the attack, of course, there was no electrification to worry about at all. I'll tell you what, though, foregoing the M4 in favor of the AR-15 DMR, that is not something you see every day. I think I almost never see anyone pick the AR-15 here on Maverick. My big problem with this gun is, while it does pack a serious punch, it's only got 11 shots. So where most of the on-meta DMRs have 21 rounds, it's just not quite as good when it comes to taking a lot of gunfights. You have to reload a lot more often.
Well, That's the Maverick. Oh, I was gonna say the Maverick struggles sometimes. He gets the job done, and surprise, surprise! Ape, the defender, opens up the wall for the attackers with that impact grenade. Okay,
You're welcome.
you're welcome. Thank you very much. He said, "You know what? You struggle enough, good sir. I shall help you out." Another awkward paced round where Weibo are happily surrendering map control and playing by the bomb site, again forcing Elevate into the struggle that is going to be Execute. And they have even less tools this time because they got the Brava, they got the Maverick, they got the Sledge. These operators help you progress the map early on. They don't necessarily help you attack the bomb site. Of course, you can hack the Evil Eyes from Ape's Maestro or something like that. You can gain a bit of value on the Brava, but if you don't, you're just a walking gun, and Speakeasy is going to be nearly unstoppable here. Just bullying them, applying pressure, forcing flashbangs and grenades. I mean, that's good value for him.
Yeah, well, that said, it does a lot of HP damage onto Speakeasy, yeah. He needs to be careful. If the guard break comes through, then he's surely going to be a dead man, and the Maverick is now opening up an angle onto Hoven. Speakeasy's tempted to go for a little bit of aggression. He's worried about the window as well. Hoven's still holding on to his position behind the Kiba barrier, which will be swiftly destroyed by that AR-15 from Naka. And Speakeasy is now back on site.
With a nade bounce, a rappel on in maybe with the Osa shield. I can see the tech here happening. They gotta get in the building, that's the problem. Right now they're completely stuck outside, and again, there are Maestro cameras in gym, in master bedroom, in office, waiting for them, a clash, waiting for them, 20 seconds, waiting for Elevate to make the first move, and they gotta go any second.
In they go, it's Naka first, and he goes straight back out again, taken down. On his exit here, Reaps wants to try and get in a position to deny that plan. He's got the Nitro cell, but Turd has fallen. Reaps does eventually find Stemp. The plant still going down for Romeo, but his teammates are falling around him with the bullet hose. Ape goes deep and finds them all. The air jabs come to life, knock everyone from Weibo on their back, but it doesn't matter because there's nobody left alive to prevent the counter defuse. And Weibo are back into it.
Absolute chaos in the server. The jump in at the 19 seconds left mark, going for the 1 kill, jumping back out. Osa tries to get down the diffuser. The Evil Eye sapping away the entire time, fighting across the entire bomb site. It's again another lockdown for Weibo, and they've gone into this saying, you know what? We think Elevate are gonna struggle at simply executing. Let's make them play for executes. They can force it. They don't gotta roam. They don't have to extend. They don't gotta go for spawn peaks. They can literally just sit back and watch Elevate struggle until they can figure out their problems. And at the very least, you do this for the first 3 rounds. So the first time on every bomb site, you show your cards. Then you ban your final operator, and then in the last half, you can start playing aggressive if you want. You can start roaming, and now Elevate gotta start problem solving a whole different situation that you haven't shown to them. So Weibo right now are kind of cheesing their way through these rounds, but in a really good way. This is a great cheese. It's saying, hey, Elevate, you're bad at this. We're gonna expose it.
Yeah, it's still very close in all these rounds, though. Elevate have kept pace. Credit to them. I like a lot of the ideas that they've had. But yeah, like you said, late round executes is where things get a little bit difficult. When you finally get to that site and you haven't dealt with things like the Maestro, and you can't necessarily frag out in the late round, that's when things get difficult. We're back even, by the way. After Elevate's 4-2 defense half, Weibo have replied with 2 of their own. Elevate still yet to find an attack round. Come on,
A little bit more. Little bit more. Left. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now it's soft. Let's see if Abe has no impacts this time. Sadly, he's not gonna help in this. Got Flores though. Romeo, whenever you're ready, it's your turn. Unless they just. There we go. That's better.
Sorry?
Gotta get the wall opened up. We see the Brazilian special screen peeking. It's completely allowed, by the way, both on LAN and online. You can look at your teammates' monitors. We saw, was it Wookie Man or somebody else in Korea sharing their screen? Like, it was literally slanted, so that everyone at the edge of the table could just look down and see it.
Yeah, I remember that. I can't
Some
remember
teams
which
do that.
team it was that did that, which player. Hoven's in a little bit of a pickle. Turt's with him as well. The Monty knows exactly where both these players are as Hoven falls. A lot of damage being done to these Weibo players. What is this from Speakeasy?
Oh my god.
Very cheeky. Contesting those holes. There's no one on Repel, and it does lead Elevate to have a lot of HP disadvantage. 3 players on the attacking side on low health as Psycho wants to contest Turdster very aggressively, very close up. The fire comes out. It's going to make it even harder for Turdster, and Stemp will finally put him down. But guess what? Psycho's also spotted the Valkyrie down below. Up in an awkward spot. Reaps is finally taken down. Romeo's had a huge round, even though he's on the floor.
Troll
the round
territory
seems to be done here for Elevate. You're right. It's trolling from Weibo. They were winning this round outright, and one by one they have fallen. All of the 3 remaining attackers are low on HP. No C4, no impacts to work with for Upe. Just this trusty NPX, but he's spotted from downtown. Stemp on top of the box puts him down, and the lead once again regained for the Brazilians.
Psycho didn't get a single kill playing the Monty, but he saw, I think, 4 out of the 5 defenders' exact playing positions, and you saw the agiling right there. Capture fire turret, hold the angle, Valkyrie flanking bottom garage. Hey, one guy CC window. He was really just relaying the exact locations of every defender, and his teammates get the kills with it. It's such a good use case of Monty, and there is no real counterplay there besides a single of Frostmat on the side of Weibo. So maybe Monty's the answer, and it makes a lot of sense, right? What they're missing is a way in the building, a way in the bomb site, a way to get down that diffuser. Monty gives you all of those things.
Yeah, and it's not banned, by the way. It's the Capital that gets banned instead, and Elevate are the ones taking their tactical, not Weibo.
So I say I couldn't see that red band, so I was very confused how you saw it. Okay, you're right.
Oh,
Capital
I have a second monitor in the
ban.
studio, by the way. Sorry about that.
I was like, am I not seeing what you're seeing?
So yeah, usually it's you, the color caster, who would get most of the value out of the like direct game top-down feed that I have in studio. So unfortunately, you're all the way in Denmark. So I mean, maybe next time we'll get you in here.
Don't get me excited now, right? Because now, if next time you don't get me in there, I'm gonna get very sad, very upset. I think I saw Rob say it's cold there today.
It is. It was
it's
bucketing
like 12
down before.
degrees.
It was raining like
Temperature
crazy.
in Melbourne. Oh, it's 10 degrees Celsius. It's actually not even cold.
There you go.
Okay.
That's cold. That's cold. And it was
That's
raining.
not cold,
It was
James.
raining big time. Well, what's
Okay,
the temperature
so
there?
you know how we have peak summer in Denmark right now, right? Let me see here. Temperature. Peak summer in Denmark. We have 18-degree days on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right now we're at 28 today, but
28.
literally 28 today, 26 tomorrow.
That sounds
And it's way too hot.
pretty damn nice, dude. Go to the beach.
No, it's way too hot.
You guys have beaches?
Go to the beach. Denmark is literally all coastal. What do you think, James?
Well, the thing is, some places are coastal, but they don't really have beaches. They have cliffs, or they have like stones and pebbles instead of real sand that you can actually like sit on. Some places are really
We actually
polluted.
don't have that many beaches.
No? Well, there you go.
we don't have we have like I think we have a lot of rock beaches. Where it's all rock,
Yeah.
gravel or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have many sand beaches, but we have some.
Ooh.
I'll take you next time.
Please, please. I'd love to make my way back to the old Denmark. Beautiful place. My favorite metro system in the world.
And you've been to Tokyo?
Yes, actually.
Wow,
Yeah, I
you
really
think
love-
it beats Tokyo?
The automated metro system, the new lines, I love that. I mean, it's small, but it's good.
Okay. Oh. Impressive enough.
Let's start our train podcast when we're not live on the Rainbow Six channel. How about that?
Fair. That's a fair deal. I was surprised not to see the Monty ban though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Monty kind of works on all the bomb sites. Capital often mostly played on CCTV attacks specifically. Bandit ban for Elevate just means you don't gotta bring the Maverick ever again, and they free up their attacker lineup. Blackbeard and Blitz in this particular round, a bit of a roam clear, and look at Reaps. He is very much stuck inside of Kitchen. No real help, no teammates, hatch open, can drop. Wants to fight out first though. Oi, oi!
That's not good. He was not playing to die in there. He was playing to drop and fall back, but he died anyway. Turdster is still on this roam, but he's in an exposed position, and this has been a pretty disastrous round for Weibo. 5v3 here for Elevate. Oh, and look at this. The blitz is all the way at the bottom of main stairs. He gets double teamed and does fall. Perhaps the first step back into it for Weibo. Meanwhile, Turdster is still hiding. He might actually meet a player upstairs. It was Ion. An uncommon Yana pick these days.
Yeah, very much so. Can't recall the last time I saw that being picked professionally. They have no clue Turtles in Garage. They have no drone either from what I can tell. And here is an attacker who might just die because of it. Oh.
There you go. This is the way back into it for Weibo. 3v3 we're back into now from the 5v3. Elevate. Caught asleep at the wheel a little bit. This could even be another pick for Speakeasy. He's just going to easily farm that one up. Psycho, not aware that there was a player on the angle. Now it comes down to the Blackbeard and Stemp on this buck to try and clutch up. And Speakeasy has now made it a 3v1. I can't believe it. 2 opening picks for Elevate. And then every single player dies with no response. Weibo needed that round. Damn, they did. And we're back at break point. It would have been match point, series point for Elevate. 1 round from making it to the grand final. But Weibo brought it back, and now we're even. Dead set again.
The worst part is, Elevate, they weren't even careless or lazy. The Iona drone, the copy, the Gemini, it checked everything. Connector, master bedroom, CCTV cache, catwalk rafters. It didn't check that grinder / Harry Potter position in bottom garage. So they tried. They thought there might be a guy there, and they spent the time looking for it, and still they missed the one corner, and they died because of that. Elevate, I want to see the Monty again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do want to see it. I feel like it worked so well. It was a great pick for Psycho. The only issue is you don't have a gun. And Psycho might want to get, active. He was playing so well on border. But I think right now what Elevate need is just leadership, stability, and a way to progress the map without having to worry about 1,000 different things at once. Monty gives you all of those things, and yet they're showing us the same similar lineup as previously. The Nomad, the Brava, the Sledge, and the Heartbreacher on a gym attack. But this time, as expected, Weibo aren't gonna full turtle hard hold the bomb site. They will actually play on the extended roam and challenge them a little bit early on.
I'm a little bit concerned though. It hasn't always worked out for Weibo when they've played aggressively. We saw that in the very last round. The extension from Reaps and Kitchen was wildly unsuccessful. Ion now gets his Brava clutch drone into the site. Hacks the first Banshee. Does fall, but still that's decent value. Exothermic goes out. You got the Jacuzzi breach already set.
Two minutes, 10 seconds, and Elevate. They just want to make sure that no one dies early. They need everyone alive for this one. And there is no capital, so playing Catwalk makes a lot of sense, but with the wall being opened up, Turret will sprint on back. Keep it off top red. That's the second position. So they're playing the first position, Catwalk Rafters. Second is top red. Then they have Cash. Then they have Connector. And they have Goyo Canister placed in all of those positions. They can play for time. They can choke Elevate out in this one because they're playing so slowly. They got to speed up. They don't realize this yet, but they will eventually. So you're going to keep in the window. That's going to be the fallback sign. 1 minute 30, I think it's about to be time. You've bought enough time on the clock right now to actually fall back and play the side. At least in my mind, it is good enough.
Keep it deployed.
Buying a nade. Yeah.
I mean, yes, time has ticked away, but it does feel like maybe a little bit of a premature forfeit. Didn't even pop the Vulcan canister.
Yeah.
The drones come out.
Could have done that.
Yeah, I mean, still, we can still see that Vulcan canister at top red is still there. Oh, they know there's a player. Oh, they think there's a player.
Not a player here.
I thought there was. For
Yeah,
a
they
second.
think so.
No, you're right. Yeah, if the Vulcan canister they're worried about. Overpeak from Hoven. That's going to punish them. Info from that Evil Eye no longer available as it is taken on down. Only got a little bit of tick damage onto Naka. Still plenty of time for Elevate to get this going, especially with the numbers advantage.
Bit of a shame seeing Turret playing that so well in the fallback just for Hoven to swing and die. Romeo somehow survives that engagement.
Now Ape eventually goes down. Here's a big backstab. Romeo traded though. Speakeasy wants to make his way back in, but the site has been stolen. It's Stemp deep inside. Naka as well, looking for a safe haven to plant. But there's time for Elevate to bait this a little bit. Reaps wants to make his way back up the stairs. The plant's going down. Naka confirms it. Good info from Speakeasy. Good ears, good hearing. He's the last full health player alive for Weibo. It's him and a very delicate Reaps against this very vulnerable Naka hiding in the bathroom. Spots out Speakeasy. A little bit of damage done. It's now a 1v1.
Flashbang.
Naka can't clutch it up. Speakeasy to win his one. A monstrous round from him. After barely fragging on border, he's here on Clubhouse with a vengeance, and Weibo are just one round from pushing this to a third map.
It's gotta go all the way once more. It's got to. I feel like there's a bit more of an elevate in the tank. There was spare. Flashbang could have played for time, could have rotated around, get to gym window, play a post plant. I will say this though, Speakeasy is single-handedly doing so much work for his team in this one. It's like the third or fourth round in a row on defense where this guy is just showing up, either getting damage, getting a kill, playing an important position, or just having the perfect read. Going towards CCTV, pre-firing from the window towards Con, getting a kill into Sledge, putting it into the 2 versus 1. Beautiful. 15 and 6, now playing Tashanga. It is quite literally him putting the entire team on his back. It's not Reaps this time. It ain't Turd. It's Speakeasy. The guy who is 0-5 on border.
Everyone else on his team is negative, by the way. We got 5 and 9, 5 and 8, 7 and 9, 6 and 8. Yeah, like you said, it's weird to see Reaps not fragging out. Ape often plays a bit of a passive and supportive role, so it's not too surprising to see him not in the kills, but like Turd, Reaps, Hoven, these guys are often in playmaking positions. Speakeasy's having to do it all right now, and it's not making things easy for Weibo. On the flip side of Elevate, you know, we talked a lot about Psycho and Stemp in the first map. Psycho's negative. Naka is... it's actually Naka and Romeo who are the 2 positive players on Elevate. Stemp just barely positive. Well, time to get to business here for Elevate. They don't want to go to a third map. No, they want to get it done here.
Top of the first call of CCTV. Get that nice line of sight opened up. Get the flying drone set up inside of bar. Much quicker pace this time. This softball. Bit awkward.
Very weird.
You see here, Naka's thinking that that's intentional. There's a mini play to be made here, right? There's a punishment somewhere. We all see the outlines. There is nothing happening. But he's paying respects to it. Calling with a soft breaching instead. Save that exothermic charge and don't risk dying to something weird. So they insta-pop the wall. They drone it. They pre-fire. They expect again something to be happening. There is Reaps on the other side instead of Jim with a mute jammer. Being tracked by the demos.
I'm not sure he has an escape.
Just looking for the jammer. Oh, he hits him. What?
Yeah, he does fall back. New jammer goes out as well to try and support his position. Psycho finds the opening kill as Ape goes down. Turds that tries to contest. Reaps in a difficult position. Oh, but the fire here might actually save him, at least for a brief moment. And look at this, the aggression from Turd. It's read by Stemp. Is there going to be another opportunity here for Reaps? He spots the player, but he's going to surely die. Jumping in from the window. It's absolute utter chaos. A Speakeasy is in a 1 versus 3. Still, this is not the bomb site, for God's sake. He finds the first one. It's going to have to be a big clutch from Speakeasy to win the map here before going to overtime. Stemp is 1 bullet from death. Psycho's taking a bit of damage too. And look at Speakeasy. Nerves of steel here. The Lord Tachanka assesses his domain. Looks to fall back, shoot another drone. Suppressive fire.
Oh my.
Bearing 9 comes out. Stemp is the one low on HP. Are they going to swing it together? The fire comes through as well. And Elevate will have to be ultra cautious of that. Plenty of time to work with here for Elevate. But Weibo have their best player from this game in the clutch position.
So intense. Adrenaline leaving Speakeasy's body.
They see him on the
now
drone.
back to being human once more. They see him on the drone, so much intel. The fire is going out towards himself. Be careful. 20 seconds to go.
But he does have the gun for it. It's got the destruction as well if he wants to open more angles in the soft wall next to him. He holds the passive angle. He sees him! Oh! He finds both kills! Speakeasy! He is the Lord and Savior for Weibo! It's a 7-5 on Clubhouse. We're going the distance here. Consulate coming right up.
Oh my god, that is ridiculous. I mean, it was just 60 seconds of waiting for his opponents, playing the positioning game, 19 kills and 6 steps in the end with a huge 1v3 clutch. The series back and forth, speakeasy, problem solving, getting all the kills. And yep, Weibo could not be taken down on this one. But now it means, yep, what on earth will happen on the third and final map? I have no idea, James.
Oh, who knows? Who's going to pop off? Is it going to be more clutches? Because, goddamn, we've seen a hell of a lot of those so far. Weibo and Elevate are fighting back and forth for the first spot in the Asia League Grand Final. We'll get Clubhouse, or rather Consulate, coming up right after this.
Saya sama mama sangat-sangat dekat. Saya mungkin bisa dibilang anak paling dimanja karena saya anak terakhir dari 3 bersaudara. Jadi kemanapun mama pergi aku pasti ikut. Kemanapun misalkan mama kerja saya pasti ikut. Mama pergi arisan pasti ikut. Waktu saya udah remaja, waktu saya gede, saya mulai bermain game kan setiap hari. Situlah mama nggak suka, mama selalu marah-marah, selalu kesel lah kenapa sekolah ditinggalin, kenapa, pasti dia marah terus. Setiap ditelepon akunya lagi di warnet misalkan, dia selalu ngapain kayak gitu, karena saya nggak pernah ngejelasin alasan saya kenapa bermain warnet. Waktu itu mama saya udah mulai sakit. Waktu itu mama saya itu divonis dengan penyakit gagal ginjal. Itulah alasan saya kenapa saya ingin menjadi pro player, karena ingin intinya membantu mama lah, cari uang untuk biaya dan segala macam. Sangat berubah drastis karena di saat itu saya mulai menghabiskan waktu saya di warnet. Saya jarang bareng mama saya lebih suka main game karena menurut saya itulah hal terpenting saat itu, karena yang saya cari hanyalah uangnya. Tapi saya tidak pernah menjelaskan itu kepada mama saya. Marah, selalu kesal. Saya dimarahin setiap hari kenapa nggak sekolah dan bla 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 bla. Gimana caranya saya hampir tiap hari main tuh. Hampir bisa tiap hari saya gimana caranya dapat uang. Entah itu dari mungkin keberuntungannya tidak berpihak sama saya. Saat itu singkat cerita mama saya berpulang dan di saat itulah hidup saya berubah. Saya sangat hancur, saya sangat sedih. Di saat itulah saya memilih untuk menghabiskan waktu saya bersama game, karena menurut saya itulah yang sangat membantu saya untuk melupakan hal-hal buruk, melupakan waktu, mempersingkat waktu, biar saya tuh main game habis itu pulang tidur, repeat, like cuma gitu aja gitu. Saya cuma nggak lama kemudian, sekitar mungkin 6 bulanan, salah satu teman saya reach out dan di saat itulah saya memulai karir saya sebagai pro. Dan dari situ karir saya menjadi sangat melejit, bisa dibilang, karena saya bisa pergi ke luar negeri, menghasilkan uang sendiri. Itulah yang hal itu menurut saya sudah tidak ada artinya lagi karena mama saya udah nggak ada. Jadi saya kehilangan tujuan utama saya kenapa saya bermain game gitu.
As I was saying, we have to look at what's ahead of us now and not worry too much about
Wait,
the
did you
past.
see that?
What?
Wait, what is this doing here?
Whoa! What the hell is going on?
Guys, we need to go.
Jess, what are you doing here?
We need to go now.
Jess, Doc is gone. We have to go back.
There's no time. There's really no time.
Can't take this anymore. I'm tired.
He's our head coach. I have to go save him.
You're already dead.
There's no escaping now.
네 앞에서 no way 날 기억하고 맡길 수 없는 걸 Yeah, you are the only thing I need I can feel 뭐라고 해도 여기 you and I You're my world 모두 다 스쳐갔던 난 영원한 your generation 놀래 나의 미래 놀래다면 내일을 No Oh It's your generation 새로운 generation It's your generation 새로운 generation It's your generation 에이, 나로 나의 긴 시간 어제와 내일 또 지나 어디까지 갈까 한길지 몰라 무한한 루머 열린 꿈 미래를 꿰뚫어 view 다른 의미 you're my rule 다시 펼쳐보는 데서부터까지 feel so good 난 여기 you and I You're my world 모두 다 스쳐갔던 난 영원한 your generation 놀래 나의 미래 놀래다면 내일을 No Oh It's your generation 새로운 generation It's your generation 새로운 generation but don't have my side. Why can't you be the light that I need? Can't you see what you've done to me? I wanna fall with you, I wanna flow with you. I need to know the truth, so tell me why you send me those signs filled with flowers and lies. Then you tear me to pieces and fade through the night. I broke down my walls and then you left me falling. I just wanna get you out of my life. We're born to fall, and I give it all just to let you know that I will keep you close. We're born to fall, and I give it all just to let you know that I will keep. So tell me why you send me those signs filled with flowers and lies. Then you tear me to pieces and fade through the night. I broke down my walls and then you left me falling. I just wanna get you out. So tell me why you send me those signs filled with flowers and lies. Then you tear me to pieces and fade through the night. I broke down my walls and then you left me falling. I just wanna get you out of my life.
When I hear it coming up like that, I just know that things are gonna end bad. When my body only moves for the beat, you've been waiting for me. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it, la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it, la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it, la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it, la 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 la. When I hear it coming up like that, I just know that things are gonna end bad. When my body only moves for the beat, you've been waiting for me. I'll just keep.
Well, we're back here for the upper bracket final of Asia in the APL. That's right, it's Weibo Gaming versus Elevate. We're deep into map 3. What started on Border and could not be settled on Clubhouse must be finished on Consulate. A determining map to see which of these teams makes it to the grand final of this oh so prestigious league first. Pengu, it's been quite a turbulent one. Elevate looked well in control in Border, although they were pushed the ultimate distance. And then, well, Weibo won the second map, but it really feels like Speakeasy won that second map.
It very much was a one-man job in a lot of those rounds, but this series has kind of gone the way that you'd expect, at least in terms of maps. We're on a third and decider. Elevate, they won their map, Weibo won theirs, and that's kind of what we thought was going to happen. At least that's what had to occur to get here. But how we got here, the individual rounds, the back and forth, the team performances, the good and the bad and the ugly, it hasn't really been what I thought it was gonna be. Elevate were better strategically at dealing with Weibo's issues or setups than I thought they were gonna be. Just like Weibo actually held on against Elevate's aggression a lot better than I thought they would on Border. Where that leaves us now on Consulate is very interesting to me, because I think it's going to come down to actual performance now of the players. If Reeves is going to show up, if Turret is going to show up. The fact that Speakeasy has to drop, what, 19 kills or 20 kills last game, to 19 and 6, I think, or whatever, to actually win out on Clubhouse is ridiculous to me. And you can't expect him to do it again. So we gotta see more from the individual players on Weibo now. They got the teamwork, they got the coordination, but they're not really hitting their shots.
On Consulate is where we settle it. And, well, from what I saw, looking at the stats, looking at the numbers for these teams, of course, Weibo played this map 2 weeks ago. They beat Soul's Heart on it, a good team. Elevate, on the flip side, this is actually their Insta-ban. So I'm a little bit surprised that we made it all the way here. Well, no, I expect another chaotic game, judging by what happened in the first 2 maps. I actually went out into the studio during
it's
the
gonna be
break.
chaotic.
Of course, and you know what our observer Sky said to me? He said, if I have to observe one more round where a team loses the advantage, and he didn't finish that sentence, but you have a vibe of what's been going on. I mean, man, this has been like 4v2s that have been fed. We've had 1v3s clutched up. More clutches than I've seen in a single series for what feels like a hell of a long time. And of course, culminating in that big 1v3 on Tachanka from Speakeasy at the end of last game.
Oh, Turret shows up, opening, up a second as well. Elevate locked out of the building. Classic Kunschlet. Getting in is difficult. Turret with a second. I mean, is this just a fall flat round for Elevate?
Well,
Psycho on the glass, not enabled. Ion on Dokkaebi, not enabled.
if the trend continues, then Elevate win this round. So, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here.
Uh-oh.
Weibo, though, all they got to do is lock in the 5v2. Just sit down, fall back, fortify their positions. You don't need to overextend. The onus is on Elevate to make the first move. In a 2v5, it should be pretty much impossible as Iron rounds the corner, almost finds Turd's head. Bit of damage received. As he looks to reclaim that diffuser, he's covered by Psycho, who does find a kill. Looking for more, Psycho misses his second. And now this is a pretty much impossible task for Iron. SMG-12, jiggle peeking. He's got to go up against the mirror window. And of course the bomb site is downstairs as well. He's spotted a very dominant start for Weibo.
Yeah, I honestly thought for half that round that it was a top 4 defense because it made sense what was happening, where they were attacking, where they were defending. It wasn't. That's not the case at all. But all the same, you gotta clear top down on Consulate more often than not. It kind of plays a little bit like Cafe, where getting in the building initially, very difficult. And once you're in, you're always fighting verticality, you're obviously fighting horizontally, a lot of crossfires, angles, long lines of sight. It can be a tricky map to navigate. At Elevate, I feel like they've been very stubborn because they've had Monty and most of the shields open on every single map, and yet they almost never bring them. The cleanest round we saw from Elevate on Clubhouse on their attacking side was arguably this easy PvP attack where they brought the Monty. It was very clean, and they never brought it against Inst, and it's been open every single round. So I do want to see Elevate, if these attack rounds aren't being figured out in the next 1 or 2 rounds, that they start getting a bit more flexible. They break the mold, they try something new, because their own stubbornness could be their problem. And that's, initially, I do think that was the big issue, why it didn't go to overtime on Clubhouse.
Yeah. Every now and then we saw a Blackbeard or a Blitz make an appearance, but it was never something that Elevate looked comfy on. That Monty was the one shield operator that looked just appropriate, looked right for Elevate. With no clash to worry about thanks to that ban phase, maybe it could help. Of course, now we're going actually to the top floor, and there is a shield. It's in the form of this Blackbeard. But actually, Hoven finds the opening kill. I don't know, just on the repels. Wow.
Oh,
At least there is a trade here for Psycho. Hoven dies. I'm not sure if he had any bandit batteries in pocket, but I'm pretty confident that there's none actually on this external meeting wall, so that should be free for Psycho or Naka to breach open. Oh, there, it's triple on admin.
Pre-placed. Interesting. It's a very, like, there's a lot of map hold here for Weibo. They're extending across, and Elevate haven't really been challenging it all that much. Here we got the second layer, deployable shield by the soda machine. They got frag grenades, they got floors, they got capital. And there's no real protection for the side of Weibo, no Jaeger, no Wamai. So by playing the soda machine position, it might actually work against you as a defending team because you might just become a freebie for your opponent. We'll see how they play it. Ape playing by the meeting door. It's Reaps, of course, the man who we gotta see show up a little bit here. Recognize, okay, Blackbeard grenades, a bit dangerous. Maybe I'm gonna fall back just one step further towards the long desk. Flourish drone shot out. Stimp will try again.
Oh, actually the long desk hasn't been destroyed. I thought he'd got it right at the start of the round with that first Rotero, but he missed. And he only has one left. His defenders have been watching it very avidly.
You're right, like there's a bunch of like destructive powder on the ground as if he did get it, but it's still there.
I think he
There's
missed
the
it.
BB.
Oh, Ape's going deep for this kill. It doesn't work. Risks taken by Weibo. Elevate punish them and then absolutely collapse. Everyone falls. What a capitulation from Weibo. Very strange way to end the round. It felt like the execute hadn't even started. And Elevate found all the kills. Weibo, got to be careful not to get too overzealous on that mid-round aggression.
I kind of like what they had going on admin though. The triple orbiting force instead of admin, that they banned batteries, but then they kind of fell back when they lost the first player. And just kind of played Soda Machine. And before Soda Machine had any sort of contest, then, you know, they fall back towards long desk. And then the round ends. It feels like Weibo is still a little bit in the mindset of Clubhouse where we can fall back, and then eventually we hit the bomb site. The thing about this map of Consulate is the bomb site itself isn't inherently strong. It's about the map around it. When you're playing lobby defense, you're extending top floor. When you're playing basement, you got a roam going typically. When you're defending top floor, you're extending out horizontally, playing yellow stairs, playing spiral, playing admin for as long as possible.
10 seconds to go.
If you're in even numbers, and the attackers, they pick, let's say, like strong operators, whether it's the Deimos downstairs, or a Ying, or a Grim, or whichever execute operator is, a shield operator, a Blackbeard, attackers are gonna have a great time. Ideally, you want to try and, you know, fight for that map control, get a kill, or burn a lot of time in drones, then fall back. Weibo are surrendering space just because they're gonna play further by the bomb side before they get kills, before they kill enough drones, before they burn enough time. It's early stage, of course, been a long best of 3 series. A lot of thinking, a lot of problem solving for the players. And a lot more rounds to go if I was to guess anything here. I would not be surprised if we go all the way to 7-5 regulation or overtime. Reaps with a good swing as a stamp, takes down the buck. Very high value target as this is a basement defense.
A bit of Pika's advantage there. He who swings wins. Not sure if Stemp was like holding a passive angle or what, but certainly was not expecting a face full of Reaps. Logic Bomb goes out. Hovens answered his phone. In Naka goes. Irons pinging out a couple of these players as well with the Jackal as he makes his way down. So a lot of map to clear, isn't there, on these basement attacks? My interest lies on whether they're actually going to go for a breach of the main wall, whether they're just going to go purely for a rear take, because it seems like the latter might be the case at the moment.
Rear take, no vert. I mean, I don't know. We gotta see Romeo on the blitz really step up then to get the intro rig going. They even have a Jackal, which with the Jackal nerf, very low value operator, one of the lowest value operators, obviously, on all of the attacking side. You get 5 Jackal trackers, but they only get 1 red ping per footstep tracked, and you don't generate footsteps in the prep phase any longer either. So
really,
Jackal doesn't. Yeah. Actually, since attacker repick, that's been the case.
Really, I didn't know
so,
that.
Yeah, I didn't realize either until recently actually. But since attacker repick, there hasn't been footsteps generated in phase.
Wow. Well, if we keep seeing trades back and forth, Weibo will be happy. However, Romeo has stepped up on this blitz. Reaps is still low. Arpe with his SMG-12. He's also got this Boss G to play with too. Elevate could maybe make this work. Funneling through this main angle. Speakeasy is lucky to have traded that shot. If he hadn't, it would have been a very difficult position to be in. Romeo's now in a crossfire, but blind. Arpe still finds the kill. Arpe finds a double with that SMG-12. Oh, it's the impact is what happens. And he covers his teammate as well. To perfection. Yeah, solid defense there at the basement for Weibo. Unfortunately for Elevate, once they lost that buck, there weren't a lot of options.
To go back to my previous point about the bomb size not being inherently strong, it's also a matter of you can't fit 5 defenders on these bomb sites. There aren't that many good playable positions. let's say you're playing Oregon back when that was in the competitive map pool, right? Basement. You have one guy playing elbow, one guy pillar, one guy freezer, one guy laundry box. Now you have 5 people that can rotate around and help each other. Let's say you have 5 guys on basement on consulate. It's hard to fit 5 people in actual playable positions. All the soft floor above you, the hatch that can be opened up, bottom spiral hallway gets annihilated by the attackers, the second they get backside control. So getting in the fight early on defense, getting that 3-3 situation, then playing the bombs with the crossfires like we saw from Weibo is excellent. They fight early, they get into a comfortable spot, then they play the numbers on the side. Beautiful. Elevate, again, they lose step early, they lost the buck, and still it comes down to a relatively close round. If they can figure out the early stages here and get that 5 versus 5 or get open and kill or progress the map a little bit quicker, they'll be just fine. And I still think Elevate right now, they're not being stubborn, they're trying different things. They were trying the Blitz, they tried the Blackbeard, they tried utility. Now they're getting that Deimos, getting active, and bringing a ton of utility because the top floor bomb side, there's a lot of hard corners to clear where Weibo Gaming could be hiding or just bunkered up.
Yeah, it's the crazy thing about this map. So big, a lot of little rat spots to play. You can see why the temptation is to play Jackal even in his nerf state. Or the Dokkaebi, which is banned. Got to bring that Deimos. I feel like it's almost every round in this current meta. You bring one of those 2 operators, either the Deimos or the Dokkaebi, because it takes so long to drone for information. It's always good to have some form of passive information on the attacking side. Defense often has passive info. What is that? Reaps caught early. Iron just walking up these Visa stairs. And now he's just watching for any re-aggression. He's might even be able to clear out this vending position as well. He should know it's clear because no one would have been able to survive that grenade. That is very quick work for just one single player of Elevate.
What now? No one holding the position, so it could be retaken now by Weibo. That soda machine, if you want to try and go for a second grenade. Psycho kind of stuck outside the breach, needs help, has EMPs himself, should be fine. There we go, no help needed at all. Bandit isn't actively tricking, he's in the corner of meeting instead. And that's where Capitao, Deimos below, that final frag grenade from Romeo, they can come into play. Those corners, that's where you can utilize the utility instead. Stamp has been seemingly on this roll now for 2 or 3 rounds. It's on Flores, droning, waiting, self-destroying. Someone's gotta do it. So why not him? Speakeasy on the operator that he clutched with in a clubhouse. Tashanka can deny any plant position. Elevate, they gotta overwhelm the bomb set here and go for kills. And that's great because they already have numbers advantage.
How are they going to use this Blackbeard's my question. Last time they took control of this top floor because everyone from Weibo just overextended. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen this time. Naka does fall. That's your Capitao gone. Out comes the rifle from the Blackbeard as he looks to get a little bit more aggressive. But Psycho's gone big here. He's having a massive impact on the recruit. Speakeasy needs to replicate his performance from map number 2, but he doesn't. And Elevate will fall onto the bomb site and dismiss Weibo. Another good round for Elevate, and the scoreline is once again tied.
It's a great backstab. I mean, they have pressure in so many areas. Yellow stairs, top spiral, meeting door, meeting breach. And when you got that 5 versus 4, you know for a fact there will be a gap somewhere. And you need to utilize that. So spreading yourself a little bit thin there, but attacking from so many different angles means somebody will find a position that is not manned by a defender. And that will be a place where you can utilize and get a free kill on angle or a lot of pressure being applied. Weibo, I'm not sure what their own expectations they are for this half. If it's a 3-3 that's good enough, if they think they need a 4-2, how much they believe in their attacks. The fact that Elevate technically permabanned this map until this moment and are still putting up an even round score of 2-2 so far is very impressive. They're obviously very competent on this map and they're doing good. And this is very much a defender-sided one. It's a lot easier to just like do your setup, hold your position, have your win conditions, and fall back if you need to. And trying to problem solve all these setups. Elevate, not gonna change too much around. They twitch for the Goyo. soft destruction of Ash for the mirror. And the Blackbeard staying true right now because, again, it's been such a valuable operator for information. Just walking around, grenading utility, and not dying to those pre-fires when Weibo keeps swinging on out.
Yeah, it really is that nade and Blackbeard combo. Like, that's the crux of why he's so good in this meta. Because you've got those nades. It's so good to toss a nade from the safety of the shield and then immediately aim down sights and cut the player who's running away from that grenade. Now, Weibo on this defense. I wonder if they're going to play a little bit more actively. It does seem like some of these rounds, they're kind of just playing passively, waiting for the action to come to them. And I'm seeing right now, Reaps with a C4 in hand. Pre-ripped, ready to toss out, and he does take down Romeo. Good usage of the Valk Cam upstairs. I'm not sure which one of his teammates was calling for that, but lots of value, and that's what we need to see from Weibo. You can't just sit back on your setups and wait for Elevate to start pushing through.
Yeah. You really gotta go get active. So far in this series, I mean, the man falling behind the most right now has actually been Turd. 14 and 23, so -9 so far. He's been a big talking point for a lot of people, myself included, because I feel like on the entry, yes, Reaps get stuff done, but Turd normally is in that fray in the battle as well, somewhere else in the map. So far against Elevate, he's been shut down almost every single time, especially on the attacking side. Turd's been struggling. In this round, Weibo are good for 2 kills early on, and it should just be one of those, lock it down, play together, play by side, and don't take any of those troll gunfights where you might just die for nothing.
And speaking of Turd, that's what we saw a lot from him on border, and we've talked about it a bit so far, but a couple of too many rounds where we saw Weibo in the advantage, and then Turd still would give away a 1v1 when it really wasn't necessary. I think he's reeled it in a bit now. We didn't see it nearly as much on Clubhouse, and he's a top 10 player in the league. That's why we hold him to such high esteem. Reaps takes down Stemp. Narco is about to find a face full of lead from Hoven. It's all up to Psycho. He's been so good for Elevate, not only as the leader, but also a key fragger. And a good pre-fire nets him a kill against Hoven. 4 more to find. There's no way he gets this. And Turd, patient as ever, will find the kill as he drops down that hatch. Weibo, once again, in the lead on Consulate, with 1 round left to go in the half.
Now the question is 3-3 or 4-2. Of course, you always want to have as much freedom to be creative as possible. And what I mean by that is when you go on the attacking side for Weibo, you're going to have to get creative on problem solving. They want to get that 4th round. They want to get as much leeway as possible.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
Let's see, a basement bomb site will be picked. With a very potentially passive setup here. I mean, the mirror windows, the Jaeger ADSs, they can fortify the old pipes position by the yellow door. We see a Banshee, we see at least 1 ADS. Maybe more, actually. I think they're hiding behind the pillar. I think they're being very sneaky right now. Mirror windows not placed just yet. Still in pocket of Speak Easy. Could be used mid-round as well, but I think right now it's a matter of setup. This man has a lot of work to do. Actually, he's gonna be running upstairs instead.
Really?
This could be a...
Is there going to be an offsite mirror?
extension.
I think there must
I mean, it
be.
must be. He's got 2 in pocket. He's 2nd floor yellow.
So
he's gonna put a top floor from CEO into meeting then. So this is the setup that most people do on lobby defense. And they're using the same logic of the 9 top floor control on a basement defense, because top floor gives them piano, and piano gives them bomb site. So they're triple layering the defense, and now they're also getting that Clubhouse playstyle of let's fall back to the next room, the next room, the next room, and then the bomb site at the end. And it's gonna make Elevate fight for the very beginning of the round here.
Yeah, no, this is a really good read here from Weibo. It's a great setup to delay time, force Elevate into a lot of problem solving. And when it comes to the late parts of the round, once finally Elevate have, cleared out that mirror window position, and hopefully Weibo have fallen back with all of their players alive, it means that when it comes to that execute, there's just not going to be a lot of time. There'll still be a mirror on site, there'll be Banshees, Goo Mines, and of course Valkyrie cameras for any dead players of Weibo to watch. So it's a good setup. Has to be played well though. And this is critical. Weibo don't need to push for kills, right, off these mirror windows. They need to just hold their positions, get out alive. delay as much time as they can in the process. Doesn't matter if they fall back with no kills.
I like that they're kind of prying and prodding in different areas. Yellow door, in admin, backside on secret here, getting the main breach open up. Just applying pressure around the map, trying to force back the roamers to help the bomb site players. If Hoban dies or Speak Easy, then the room is done. You see it already now. Reap's walking down yellow staircase because help is needed. Deagle pre-fire on the nade. He downed him.
Yeah, wow.
That worked.
The Deagle is a very deadly weapon in the right hands. You can spam that so quickly, and it deals a heck of a lot of damage, especially in close range. God. Reaps with a big reply. Weibo have done a great job in this round at really taking the fight to elevate. Now it's desperation as the Brazilians funnel their way down the spiral stairs. Stem falls. Romeo against the world. 1v4, it's not happening. There's no way. They know exactly where he is as well. Nobody's going to pick. Nobody will give him the satisfaction. Even Ape here needs to be careful not to overextend. Romeo's playing it well. He's got one nade to work with. 1v4 just doesn't happen. I mean, look, 4 players are staring at him. Everyone picks at the same time. A great round for Weibo. It's a 4-2 split. The Chinese organization. As we go into the second half, let's see if they can muster up the same level on their attack.
It's a great defense there. I think strategically very sound for Weibo. How they played it positionally speaking, when they were falling back, when they were helping each other was very great. We only saw Reaper's point of view fighting the Deimos on bottom yellow, but Speak Easy actually swung from the bomb side door as well. It was a 2 versus 1. So even if Reeves didn't come out victorious, there was help, there was going to be a trade. Reeves then just gets the injure, runs back, gets a second kill, and just destroys Elevate on the roam game and on by the bomb side. My question here for the situation was, what operator bans will Elevate go for? Monty, I think, is great here. Again, the simple problem solving. Then they might need some utility, a Capital or a Grim, or whether it's information like Mira or a Valkyrie, a Sami if you want to go for some default stuff.
Doke.
Clash, actually. Okay, well, then Dokkaebi on the attacking side. Okay.
Yeah.
So Monty Dokkaebi. Okay.
I will say, when Elevate defended on Clubhouse, one thing they were really good at was forcing Weibo into awkward positions with those hard breach bans. Elevate understood Clubhouse in terms of the hard breach a bit better than Weibo, despite Weibo winning that. I mean, obviously, defense was really where Speakeasy in particular shone. But for Elevate, you know, triple hard breach on the attack, on the defensive half for them, it forced Weibo into some really awkward positions. They didn't bring that Maverick. They just relied on the tin can openers. This time they go for a completely different idea. It's the Monty Dokkaebi. We know Weibo like that Monty. Obviously, the Dokkaebi is one of the most dangerous operators on the attack in the meta right now as well. So lurking is going to be a little bit more challenging for Elevate without the Doki, and doing like I don't know, how do you describe it? Like that mountainous, just hard push, the hammer anvil that you get with the Monty, also going to be a bit harder.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Love when teams to bring out the Tashanga, by the way, on top floor. There is about 3 or 4 bomb sites where Tashanga excels in Siege Pro League, and this is one of them. It stops the CEO default planned. I just think it's a slightly underutilized operator. Same with Sense, actually. It's a lot of effort to learn the operator, like custom game, trying around angles and lineups and such. And the weapon, not everyone likes those, but still, Ying, when she first came out, no one played Ying. And then you go forward, and now everyone's playing it, and Ying shotgun, and Ying this, and Ying that, and it's just an operator. People haven't given Tashanga rework and Sense rework as much of a chance in the theory crafting department as I feel like it deserves. Or they have, and it's just been a resounding, this isn't that good actually, which is very possible. I just feel like there is a lot of potential to be had.
We're starting to see a bit of Sense popularity. Turds is on it right now. It's the Blackbeard though. The first one to get aggressive. He's facing Stemp, who's got this Boss G.
Boss G.
Wow. Very dangerous weapon to try and face a Blackbeard with, who's going to have most of his body covered. Speakeasy actually finds a kill down below as well. That forces Stemp to think twice. He no longer has a buddy covering his backside. Gridlock tracks.
With an awkward elevate round.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's so much good setup here from Weibo. We already have a top spiral player. We've got a lot of pressure, and we've got Speakeasy down below.
I think it's just like they're fighting it out too happily. I mean, look at the setup. They got Vigil wants to fight, Castle that can fight. Then they got a lot of plant deny, a lot of traps. You know, they should. Oh, that's a bust G right there in high effect. Here comes the BB.
Surely
2 players, in fact.
Yep, comes through the trade very quick for Weibo as they start to push onto the site. And we see the light walls come out, the ROU projectors from the Sens of Turd, cutting off some of these lines of sight. Now it's time to figure out how to get back into it. And Naka, he's taken down that top spiral player. He sees Hoven, who's coming for him. Or rather, Ape with that Twitch DMR. It's going to be a double swing. He finds the first one. Turdster desperately looking for him. The shotgun comes out for Naka, and he gets the final kill. Big round from Naka. Elevate were on the ropes, but the smoke put the team on his back.
To no one's surprise, Elevate, they stay clutch as they have been so far throughout this best of 3. I really liked how that started for Weibo. They were countering the aggression, they were holding the angles, they got the flank inside of lobby, everything was working. And then they seemingly forgot about Stemp on the Vigil on the Visa stairs, and he just gets a freebie on Deimos below. Has to be double pushed, but then Elevate the swing and re-aggress together. It's an awkward one for both teams, but they both had a very good counterplay. Elevate, the one thing I think that could be their doom is if they overpeak early in the round and they start taking gunfights in areas that aren't very hard to deal with. They were very happy to fight last round, and I'm not sure they should have been. It worked out, but now Weibo can expect, okay guys, this will be Elevate like on Border. They're going to be running outdoors, jumping out windows, fighting us in the entry points. Now we need to adapt. Made the right course correction.
5 seconds remaining.
A lot of attacker repicks right now. We saw Amaru, Jackal, Brava. Deimos and the Glass will be locked in for Turret and Reaps. Lineup that can do a lot here. They can roam clear, they can hit the bomb site. And there is actually a world where they can go for a direct take as well with the Thermite and the Glass, the smoke coverage, and the big heart destruction. We see the block upstairs here, meeting wall getting popped, the drone getting tossed on in. It looks like they do want to fight for map control and get that vert cleared first.
But it's going to be hard to do that. I mean, you look at this lineup. Valk for info, potential C4s as well. You got a Nitro and Naka as well on the Bandit. You got Ela Mines, you got Legions, Goo Mines. Castle Barricades is a lot to deal with on this roam game. Weibo are going to commit to it, it seems. But yeah, this is going to take a while.
Who's gonna start the back here? That's the question. Ella, all crystal mines already pre-placed. C4 from Valkyrie already used as well.
Oh, is that?
I think it's pre-placed, the C4. Yeah, it is. So you can't really toss it if Blackbeard arrives at your destination.
Let's see this
but a camera above, surely. Yep.
Come in
You
meeting.
just pop it here. Do you... Ooh.
Has he got a teammate on it for him? He doesn't at the moment. Romeo was watching it.
Oh.
But unfortunately, the timing is just off.
Spider
Hoven takes
Desk.
a bunch of damage. Almost a kill for the Bark on the retreat.
Oh my god.
Iron gets away with his life. And Hoven barely skates away. Just a sliver of HP remaining. And what a shot from Stem through the floor. Deimos down. And that is a resounding victory on this roam game from Elevate. As Reaps finally finds Romeo. It's not done yet though. Stamp is still fighting for more. The Blackbeard sees him. They can't get the kill. Surely the trade comes through from Reaps on the Glass. Out of bullets. Out comes a Deagle. Reaps finally puts him down. Damage done though. Look at Weibo. They're in shambles.
It's scrappy. What a disgusting gunfight between Reaps and the roamer of Step upstairs. Reaps hits the deck, goes for the reload, and gets the kill. What, 50 seconds left? Awkward player positions here from Weibo. Bach is still top floor. Glass and Piano solo. No heart destruction. I'm not sure Thermite got the job done earlier. They're quite limited right now. That hatch, you don't want to drop it. I guess the breach has been opened up because Naka is watching very passively. But is a plan possible? I mean, you have the Blackbeard, you have 2 smokes still in the pocket of Reaps. This is completely doable. They gotta go very soon. 20 seconds left.
Well, the vert could be big here. The contests. Hoven does see Psycho's gone deep. Is anyone able to kill Psycho? He snuck past the smoke. No,
But you don't know?
Speakeasy. You looked the wrong way. The knife
What?
from Reaps. The plan cannot be forced. He's the last one alive. There's nothing to be done but try and desperately plant in the smoke. But Iron will not let him. Elevate, continue fighting, and their defense is looking fly.
Very awkward again. The bug has the self-destruction. The Vert sees the Ella, but doesn't realize they crossed from the right to the left in towards the yellow door. Then Blackbeard gets shot at by the Ella, doesn't realize she's in the corner, and sprints straight past her and then dies for free. A knife trade then for Reeves to even it down to almost close numbers, right? Like a 1 versus 2, but it's not enough. I feel like it started off pretty well once more. They juked the Valkyrie C4. Yeah, Iron kind of slipped away inside a piano, dropping down that hatch. Reeves doing entry duty on the glass, by the way. Not always that we see that, but it worked out. He got his kill. Felt like Weibo were very spread out across the map, not able to help each other necessarily. But that's also kind of necessary when Elevate or themselves and defense are spread so far across. You need to attack the entire map, spread out on the attacking side, or you take a bunch of attackers together and push from one end over. It's a tough one. Tied up 4-4. And to no surprise, defense consulate a little bit easier than the attack.
That's where Elevate bring it back, right? With even again, 4 rounds apiece. And it's map 3. And it's for a spot in the grand final.
Attackers have discovered the location.
You win
of a
here,
bomb.
you don't have to go down to that lower bracket and fight your way back up again. No, you're through. I think a lot of people would have expected that these are going to be the 2 best teams in the region, that it would be a Weibo Elevate grand final. But after a bit of a tumultuous stage for Elevate, people perhaps question that. You know, they lost to Daystar, Soul's Heart, and Latent Dragon, in addition to Weibo in the regular stage. They were pushed pretty deep as well by Fury in their first game of the playoffs. And yet here they are, they've taken the fight to Weibo. They've looked like the best team to take that fight to Weibo. Nobody else has pushed them to overtime, let alone stolen a map like Elevate have done earlier today. Already a huge achievement, but Elevate, Psycho said it himself, right? Like, it's best in the region or not good enough.
Ooh. Stem gets away with his life intact, but a health bar looking pretty damn bad. 20 health left on him. Best in the region is a bold statement, but let's be honest, it is what they need to do to actually succeed here. Getting second, getting third, with a full import roster,
It's not enough,
with a big name like Psycho on it, it's not enough. It's not.
It's expensive.
Now-
Expensive second place that would be for this organization.
It's been not the cleanest stage for Elevate, but to be honest, they are technically a new team that is put together for this, if not mistaken. And they gotta start gelling. They gotta start getting that experience, and they gotta learn the region first. And at the very least, Psycho had some great interviews where he was very humble and hard to hate. Because it's very easy to default to, they are the villains, they're the bad guys.
They've been very good here in this league. And they've been extremely good here against Weibo. However, Weibo are making their attack further and further forward. There's still a player here hidden inside of meeting. No one seems aware. Romeo finds the first kill. Oh, Turdstar doesn't realize the player behind him. Step for 2. And that should be the round done and dusted. Hoven will trade eventually. But still, a lot of work to do for Weibo to bring this one back. It's a 2v4. Diffuser is cold on the ground. Reeps and Hoven. This nade might help a little bit. Still presence on the top floor to be cleared. Drone comes out. They need to time this together. They need to play this so well. Romeo started the equation, found the first kill of the round, and he's in such a difficult position to flush out now. And he finds another one. Hoven not able to trade. Eventually finds that kill, confirms with the pistol. Worried about the vert. 30 seconds to play with to bring a clutch out of his ass.
Yeah, unlikely that is. No case, no help, no kill. Naka takes him down. Elevate, I'll be honest and say here, they're doing a great job at making things just simply difficult for Weibo. In the last round, we saw Weibo being spread across the map, attacking in different areas, and they couldn't really trade each other. That didn't really work. Now we saw Weibo, pretty much all 5 people attacking the same portion of the map from admin over. That also didn't work. Despite having so many drones and so much manpower, Stemp with 20 health and Valkyrie, who was shot earlier, was AFK in the meeting corner, gets 2 kills, goes unchecked, unnoticed, undroned. And Weibo, it's time to figure out how you can change things up. What you're doing isn't working. You've now given it a couple of goes. It's time for plan B, plan C, a different main thing to do. Elevate right now, they're not doing a lot in these rounds. What they're doing is the right things. Early pressure, play the rat positions, have the crossfire, let Weibo problem solve you. They're not over swinging. They're doing the one thing that I was like, okay, if they do this, they're gonna be solid. They're playing corners. They're holding their crosses. Whereas when you saw Elevate on Border, on Clubhouse, they are running at Weibo, seeking gunfights. They're playing the map the way it's supposed to be played, and they're being rewarded massively for it in round counts. 5-4. They take the lead.
Yeah, and that's actually the first time Elevate have taken the lead here on Consulate. They've always been chasing Weibo. Now they're ahead.
5 seconds left.
2 more rounds is all they need. And they're still on that defensive side. Weibo have not succeeded yet on the attack. As we go to top floor, Sens is brought once again. You mentioned it. No Amaru. A lot of teams brought that Amaru when Consulate came back into the competitive pool. But it's Sens and Blackbeard.
Shanga, man. It's too good.
Yeah, true. Tachanka smoke in combination. Even Ella with 2 Grismots in pocket. It looks to be an admin across take here for Weibo. And it'll succeed or fall in meeting. Like, trying to break into meeting from this hallway here. That's where things either go beautifully or terribly. Stemp is trying to take this fight with the Boss G. We've seen before, not a favorable fight to take against a Blackbeard with that Boss G.
Such a rat.
Yeah,
I mean, this is disgusting gameplay, by the way. Like, the fact that he's so confident means he must do this in ranked all the time. Because I wouldn't dare fight a Blackbeard with a Boss G. It's such a losing position to be in. He's making it work. He's alive for now. And he's a problem to be dealt with. What?
Reaps! That was so dangerous.
He challenges that?
Oh, Speakeasy's going to die here too. Psycho coming up from behind is going to find that kill for free.
No.
Oh, what a bad way to go down here for Weibo. Turster and Hoven, all they're doing at the moment is barely trying to save their embarrassment. Another kill with the Boss G for Stem. Hoven is on the bloody roof in a 1v5. Knife. Okay, Hoven, I think this is an impromptu tactical timeout here for Weibo. This has got to be a big improvement for the next couple of rounds because Elevate have match point.
Oh! Psycho wants 1v1. Oh! Okay, Naga doesn't want that. Okay. I was gonna say a 1v1 knife fight on yellow stairs. I'm so down for that, but nope. Not quite.
Well, Pengu, it's 6-4. Elevate on the verge of knocking Weibo down to the lower bracket. And what a way to do it as well here on their Instaban map. Playing Boss G, contesting a Blackbeard in the hallways. Unreal performance in that round from Stem. A flawless with 2 match points before them.
I mean, you're losing a round to a Boss G Vigil top vs stairs with practically no support. You get flanked basement by a castle while you're on drones. It's a lot of small things right now for Weibo, but I don't know if Reaps is like inexperienced on Blackbeard or it's acts of desperation or he thought the Vigil would whiff the Boss G shot, but simply just right-clicking with the Vigil staring at you on Blackbeard hoping for the best. It doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence for the rounds to come, or the round to come. You got grenades, right? You got multiple people behind you. You got drones, like you can flank vs stairs. You have so many options.
5 seconds left.
Reeves right-clicks, dies, and has 2 nades in pocket and round is over. It just feels like they're not able to go through the motions of how do we deal with this player. Let's just try and kill him, and then we'll see what happens. Which, when Stemp is floating like this, spawn peeking with Boss G now, he's gonna take you down in that gunfight. You gotta get smarter. You gotta start using that utility. use your teammates.
I just have a sinking feeling that Stemper's going to find a spawn pick here with the Boss G. Hoven's vulnerable.
Oh, here comes.
If he runs out now, you might just find him. Flashbang goes out. Weibo are very careful. But still, I mean, it's a mental game now. If you're a Weibo player on a drone and you see those visual signals, you got a sinking feeling that Stemp is somewhere causing a big ruckus. That Boss G, the sound of it, sending shivers down your spine. And here it comes. Up against Reaps. Takes a bit of damage. And he decides to fall on back.
And now we see the Weibo locked outside the building, right? They're kind of scared to enter, and I get it. But how the last round played out, you don't want to lose like that again. So double checking drones, checking angles, holding positions, moving together. What this means, though, is that they're going to be very slow in this round. They're only just in top 4 now, CEO side, on the meeting balcony. That's it. They are barely in. Now they're in piano, dropping down that CEO hatch, doing a bit of vert. But there are so many things that are open. No one's holding lobby, no one's holding spiral, no one's holding yellow stairs, no one's holding top floor. So many flanks are open for elevate here. Weibo, it looks like they have a lot of control. I don't think they actually do.
Oh, here it is.
They don't. Look at this. Tempest right here. They have no clue.
Behind you. Stem's made a lot of noise though. Hoven knows about it. And he can just wait patiently, but oh, it's a trade!
Oh my god.
The game sense from Stem to check that angle. A direct shade. Leaves Weibo more bloodied, but Speakeasy brings it back into the realm of possibility. Turdster cautious of flanks. He's got the vert with the sledge, but Naka has a pre-placed C4, and if he gets the Q, he might just smash Weibo's hopes and dreams. 40 seconds.
Nick goes out. Triangle for time of Speakeasy, no diffuser.
It's done. It's so over, Pengu. Tursa has to drop down. Desperation leads to nothing for Weibo. And Elevate are the first team through to the grand finals in APL Asia.
A crazy first map, a crazy second map, and then the third one, Weibo, they run out of steam and it just kind of falls flat. Elevate, they're showing us that they're scaling. They're getting better every series, every map. They're getting the adaptations in, they're getting their reps in, and they started playing much more strategically sound, not just relying on gun skill. It's a much better Elevate today than just a few weeks ago, which means their future, well, a lot of potential.
Oh yeah, the future looks bright for Elevate. It's a very swift end to a very long series. Elevate, the decisive winners by the time we hit the end of it. Rob, I certainly thought Weibo would have a lot more to show on Consulate than that, but for Elevate to win, they're insta-ban, and in that fashion with the Boss G, it's absolute heaven for the Brazilians.
Is, and it really starts to cement a bit of this discussion about the imports. Obviously, we still have 2 other regions that we have to see pan out to see where they end up, but at the moment, Elevate in this series looked very strong. Even on the map that they lost, they still look competitive. They still looked in it. For me, I think that the most disappointing thing is just how this map finished, how Consulate finished. It should not have fizzled out the way it did, but unfortunately, Weibo, they could not get their ducks in a row. They threw way too many kills at the start of the rounds, and Elevate just way too willing to capitalize. We talked about it yesterday, Pengu, that Siege is a game of forced errors, but you have to be able to capitalize on those errors, and it felt like Elevate, certainly on Consulate, managed to do that better than Weibo.
It's 100%. Weibo, I don't know if they are uncomfortable on this map or they're uncomfortable against the playstyle of Elevate, but they kind of stopped fighting back. What we saw from Weibo and Border, very impressive. They're matching Elevate's aggression, they're taking the gunfights, they're equally good. And then we go to Consulate, a couple hours later, it's like, okay, now Elevate is all the way up here, and you sunk down here. On Clubhouse, Speakeasy has to go absolutely nuclear with 19 kills to get you guys a 7-5 victory. Turret didn't show up, Reaps didn't show up.
That's actually a very big point that I just looked at before. We spoke about it in the pre-game, Dev.
Reeves is the guy, right?
And if he doesn't turn up, what happens?
Yep. Well, we saw it in map number 1. Yep. I'm seeing if I get the stats on hand. But yeah, map number 1, Reeps and Ape were absolutely carrying.
Ape went crazy.
Particularly Ape.
Yep.
Yeah, map number 2. Weird to see the only player really firing. I think it was the only player who was positive, was Speakeasy out on 19. Whereas it did feel like we had a lot more consistency in the fragging department from the Elevate boys. In particular, like Stemp, he went nuts on map 1. Map 3, it wasn't like he was 15, 20 kills, right? But those kills were so impactful, and also just the mental game of what he was doing with that boss G in the last couple of rounds. It was a real headache for Weibo.
Yeah, you just look at the consistency across the board for Elevate in all of the series, and they just have 4 really strong players, right? Every single map that they've played, they've basically got 4 that are above 100 EPS. And in a game, in a close series like this, you need that. Just in comparison for everyone at home, on Clubhouse, Weibo had 4 players under 90 EPS.
Meanwhile, what was Speakeasy's?
Just take a wild
120?
stat. You're way off.
140?
Way off.
180?
190 EPS.
What the fuck?
And that obviously that comes from his last 2 rounds
That's
where
insane.
that impact was crazy.
I was watching, looking back at Clubhouse, and it was like, what, 3K, 4K, 3K, 1v2, 1v1. Insane stuff from him. And yet it's not consistent. That's the problem, right?
Yes.
So, and we saw a lot of Weibo rounds that were like pretty pitiful from the get-go. We saw ones where they looked good for a bit and then fell apart. It was Elevate who stepped up. And like you were saying, Pengu, they've really started scaling. Like Elevate started and they didn't look the greatest. They lost 4 of their first 5 games in this league after coming through the reload event at a top 8 finish. Like you expected way more out of them straight out of the gate. Now they finally got their first win over Weibo, because of course they lost to them in the regular stage. Not just a map, but a resounding victory in the BO3.
Yes.
They move into the grand finals, and they are the best shot at the moment of being crowned the kings of Asia, and they're not even from Asia.
What's your big takeaways from Elevate in this one, Nick? Because obviously there are a lot of things that we could talk about. I think map 1 was very interesting, just from a dynamic of how the map actually played out. There were so many 3K, 4Ks. There were a lot. I think there was like 5 1vx's. Like there were so many chaotic moments. But for you, what's the standout moments that you're kind of thinking to for Elevate moving forward for their grand final next week?
I think the thing that stood out to me the most is their depth. I saw Elevate as a pretty linear, almost one-dimensional team, and not in a negative way. They are really good at this one thing of playing the game. Today I saw much more different styles. They're playing less stubborn operators, right? They're playing more flexibility. There's the capital, the glass, the shields, etc. They're working around the heart-breaching bands. They're working around the Bandicoot bands, etc. They're showing that they do have a strat book, and it's getting built right now. It's going deeper and deeper, bigger and bigger. And I think they could also outlast and outsustain Weibo in a long series, because they got the Brazilian experience where they play a lot of series and a lot of games.
Yeah, I think Elevate at the moment are looking by far the most dominant, especially after this series. As close as it was, you could see the divide. You could see the difference. As you said, Pengu, you could see the depth. It's time for us to welcome in our first interviewee. Naka, lovely to see you. Now, just for James and Pengu, we just need to slow the conversation down a little bit and not talk like Australians. Naka, obviously coming into this game, we were, I guess, expecting this to be very close. It ended up being even closer than I might have anticipated, but really, you guys took over at the end of Consulate there. Do you think that that's just an experience thing? What kind of kicked you guys into gear at the end? Did Weibo just fall off, or was that Elevate rising?
I think we worked very well on this week, so our preparation was pretty good. So anything they do, we know what should we do, you know?
Yes.
I think that's why the game that's why we won the game.
Dev.
Naka, I wanted to ask a little bit about your personal history and your career in Rainbow Six. I've been reading your Wikipedia page. I can see that you used to play for Malvinas Gaming way back in Brazil in Tier 2. You played for Elevate Academy for many years before joining their main roster here, and of course Elevate entering the Asia League. This is your first time having a shot at qualifying for some big tournaments overseas, for qualifying for the SI. What does that mean to you? And what was it like to you to be picked up to this team and then coming all the way to Asia to play for Elevate?
For me, it's a honor. I think this is what I every time I dreamed about it. So it's a honor. I would like to say thank you to Justin because he invited me. So that's it.
I just wanted to ask as well, where are you right now in Asia?
We are living in Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
We watch some films, we play some games. We don't go out sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Do you
It's kind of hard to go out here.
Do you like the food or do you miss the food in Brazil?
I miss the Brazilian food.
Yeah,
It's the best one, I think.
of course, I can only imagine. Nick, anything from you?
A question about the map pool. So you guys tend to ban consulate quite often. Were you nervous if you were to go on the third map? Because we thought maybe on consulate you're not so strong, but then we see that you guys are actually very good on consulate, especially on defense. Were you ever worried, or was it just completely okay?
I think it was completely okay. I'm more nervous now doing the interview than playing. So I think
You're doing
we
great.
prepared. We are prepared for the game for any map that they pick or the third map. It's everything is easy.
Oh, I love that. That's a very stark contrast from Psycho. Speaking of Psycho, we spoke to him last week just on a couple of different topics, and I just want to get your thoughts on this before we let you go. What are your thoughts on the Asia region now that you've been here for over a month? Do you feel like it's competitive enough, or do you really feel like you can notice a lengthy gap between the regions?
At the first moment, I think the teams wasn't good, but after I play against them, I changed my mind. You know, they are pretty good. I think Weibo it's a very good team. So we have good teams here, but I think the Asia League will be better like in 3 months. We have the Cyclops campaign in Reload, so I think in the next seasons they will be better. Every APAC team, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with. I mean, that was the general consensus from all of us. Was like like rising tides, it lifts all ships, right? So everyone's slowly getting better and better in APAC. Would you like to say anything before we let you go, my friend?
Yeah, of course. I would like to say thank you to everyone that cheered for us, my girlfriend, my parents, everyone, and that's it. See you next week.
Oh yes, I love it. We will see you next week in the server, mate. Best of luck.
Thank you.
It's nice to see.
Wait, was that a birthday cake?
Hey! Is it your birthday?
Wait a second.
No shot. Happy
Yesterday was my
birthday,
birthday.
my friend.
That's amazing.
Happy birthday, Naka.
Yes,
let's go.
we all get to celebrate with you, mate. What a way. What a way. Well, let's not start that one. My friend, thank you very much for joining us. Go and enjoy your birthday, and we'll speak to you next week.
Thank you. See you guys.
We love